thing. Were there any like policies she brought up in the debate that you vehemently disagree with?
I don't like handouts.
If I remember correctly, it reduced child poverty by up to like 40%. So the idea behind that is it's probably going to pay for itself in the long run.
Pressure the states to allow it to make it easier to build housing and to build like apartments, whether instead of like making the federal government the only way for new housing to be built. Like,
well, I think that's what she's trying to do essentially. Hold on, I have a list of a few actions the Biden administration took here.
I don't have a list. So.
However, I will say, if you want to do things like onshore manufacturing, you should probably vote for Kamala Harris. The Biden administration is the only administration that actually got substantial investments in onshoring American jobs, especially in the chip manufacturing industry, which is where we need it most because of the national security threat posed from Taiwan.
Jobs within the United States, do you need the federal government to invest in that though? Like, is that a requirement?
Companies just don't have. It's just not profitable to produce chips in the U.S. right now because our labor is too expensive, and Taiwan already has all the infrastructure built up so that they already have all the fixed costs. I would rather spend $8 billion or whatever we gave the Intel and increase the deficit by $8 billion than do tariffs, because tariffs are just way more inefficient. How much do we think the deficit matters, and why? This thing, we need tariffs and patent reform. What does patent reform look like?
Get rid of them. So let's look at Kamala's policy on Israel and Palestine.
Oh yeah, I was literally going to mention that.
I
feel like let's look at Kamala saying. Let's look at Kamala saying that she wants the most lethal fighting force the world has seen. The flat tax helps to eliminate a number of these loopholes that already exist for people to not pay taxes or to pay much less in taxes than they should.
Yeah, usually my argument is not going to be revenue for it. It's going to be fairness. I don't really care if rich people are contributing enough revenue to the government. What I care about is the government is taxing people fairly. And I think it's, again, the diminishing marginal utility of the dollar means that it's, I would say, more fair.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think equality and equity are the same thing? I think 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And having a little bit more in that paycheck can help alleviate that stress.
Yeah. I feel like that's a dumb claim. I feel like it's quite obvious, just intuitively, that 78% of Americans do not live paycheck to paycheck, but also the median...
It was a 2023 survey.
It was a survey, correct. Actual larger surveys by like either the Federal Reserve or actual studies show different things. So the median American net worth is $193,000.
Let's go for another one, which says 66%. Does that make you happier?
The median American household has $8,000 in transaction accounts. 54% of adults have cash savings that could pay for 3 months of expenses. All right, we're all good, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think we should all be able to agree that Harris did pretty well. I think we all probably agree with that.
I think Harris got the most out of it. That's what I think.
The most out of it, okay.
Yeah. Trump also just did shit, so
yeah.
It's an easy comparison.
Sure. We're comparing her relative to Trump, of course, so.
I don't think there was like any moment during the debate where like one was like, it was like Trump obviously said some really weird shit, obviously. But I don't think there's any like one moment during the debate where it was just like, oh, like Harris obviously has like won this, you know? But I think overall, like, I feel like moderates are more likely to be drawn to Harris than they would be to Trump after that debate.
Yeah, I feel like she did.
I will say, I liked some of Trump's insults. They made me giggle.
I'd agree with that.
Trump has the ability to do like the facial expressions. So like whenever like Harris is saying something, and then he'll be like,
"Did you see Harris's face?"
Yeah, Harris.
Yeah, there was some
Harris had the facial
captures.
Yeah, it's true. She was a little smug. She had that smirk the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I think she did a really good job. Also, there was that one part where she did play into like the prosecutor versus felon thing after Trump was doing the whole election fraud spiel that he always does.
So badly though, I feel like there was like it was so inorganic. Like it was so obviously like she was like trying to.
I don't think it was
push that in there.
I don't know. I feel like it's fair to like say like, oh, hey, you've been prosecuted for fraud, right?
Yeah.
I feel like everything she does is inorganic, so you know.
That's true.
All right. Well, it seems like we all agree there. The real point of this panel, okay, it is time that these independent voters have to be confronted. Okay, I want to know y'all's biggest problems with Kamala. Why I would like hopefully at least some policy things and not just any moral character thing. Were there any like policies she brought up in the debate that you vehemently disagree with?
I don't like handouts. So she was talking about handouts to parents. She also was talking about handouts to start businesses. I don't like either of those ideas. I am also a libertarian, so I am against pretty much all spending.
What she proposed was economically infeasible. What she was like, we're going to give corporate tax cuts of up to $50,000 to small businesses. I'm like, okay, so you're either the government's going to be losing money or have to raise that money somewhere else. And then she says, was it newborn mothers are to get $6,000 or something like that?
$6,000 for the first year of a child. Yep.
Yeah, $6,000 for the first year of like raising a child. So they're going to be increasing spending drastically, and they're going to be decreasing taxes drastically. So how's that going to work exactly? Because that's just going to increase the deficit. That's a policy issue. Like I feel like Kamala talked about increasing spending in a lot of places, but she didn't talk about like where she's going to be raising that money from.
Okay, sure. So I guess the first thing is I'm comparing Kamala relative to Trump, right? So we may not like both of their spending proposals, but Trump is also in favor of even bigger tax cuts, and all he wants to do to raise revenue is tariffs, which is like the most regressive, like inefficient way of raising revenue, right? Do we agree on that point?
I mean, I wouldn't call it the most inefficient, but it is a way to raise revenue.
I can't think of a more
I would agree that it doesn't work very well. I don't know if it's like actually the least efficient, but it doesn't work very well.
Okay, there might be some theoretically more inefficient way. Okay. So we seem to agree Trump would probably be worse for that type of stuff. You mentioned like handouts and this increased spending. So we would have to think on the margin here a little bit, but the first child tax credit like has been analyzed. I think that if I remember correctly, it reduced child poverty by up to like 40%. So the idea behind that is it's probably going to pay for itself in the long run, right? If you reduce child poverty, they're probably going to grow up to be more productive taxpayers.
Well, I would be more for a tax break. So like if it was framed as either the next time you file your taxes after you have a baby, or if you get pregnant and decide to tell the government you got pregnant, then your next tax break or tax filing that you get a tax break. I would be more for that than an actual handout.
Well, I think it is a tax credit. It's just a refundable tax credit. So if you don't earn enough to like file taxes, you can also take the cash. I thought it was a tax credit. It's just also refundable.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick.
Sure.
It would change my opinion.
A big thing, which I really like, is she's in favor of expanding the earned income tax credit, which I think is a pretty efficient policy. We don't even have the minimum wage increase in our issues page, but we do have the earned income tax credit. So
she has an issues page now. Does
she does, yeah.
On it?
Yeah.
Wow. When did that go up?
Like 2 days ago now, I think.
Oh wow, I'm so behind.
But also, okay.
I also wanna make note. You did invite me on this panel, and I don't know if you know because I don't talk to you very much. I am not voting for either of these motherfuckers.
Oh no, you told me you're voting Chase Oliver, right?
For either of them either.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mentioned. I told you. I think I said I mentioned these independents need to be confronted. Okay, that's what needs to happen. I need to make you partisan hacks.
All right, try your best. But you got to argue that Kamala's better than Chase, not that Kamala's better than Trump.
Well, I just don't think that Chase is viable. So
I live in a blue state. My state's going Kamala no matter what. I've accepted that.
Okay. So it was a tax credit, right?
Yes.
So there's probably also fine. It's fine. Okay, and then I also mentioned the earned income tax credit. She's in favor of expanding the earned income tax credit. I think is probably a good thing.
Double checking what it was, what like amount it was.
I think it was like $1,500.
How much did she want to expand it to?
If I'm not using my camera on my stream, why am I? Hold on, I'm stupid. Give me a moment.
Noob. Do you stream? Yeah. Was I told you just started streaming?
Yeah, pretty recently. Yeah, he did.
Well, I made this account recently. I'm not like new to streaming, if that makes sense.
Okay, sure.
Everyone has like 13 accounts in their childhood that they've used.
Yeah. Okay, why is that not popping up? Turn off camera, turn on camera. USB camera, not showing anything. Okay. For some reason, my OBS is just like eating my other camera, and I can't disable it.
Are you live right now?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, well.
Before
virtual cam existed, I was playing the fun game of picking what program I opened first, and it would make things work.
I have written down from her policy page. I read the economic portion of it that she wants to expand the earned income tax credit, which I feel like, A, it's a tax credit, and B, it's probably, I think me and Gorth would probably agree, it's probably better than just simply raising minimum wage, right? It's probably better incentives lined up there.
I don't think there should be a federal minimum wage, so yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's not even on
I didn't say no minimum wage. I said no federal.
Okay? No federal. Okay. I'm not even a super big fan of minimum wage. Okay. I feel like most of her economic positions are pretty good. So like another big thing is the YIMBYism. She has embraced YIMBYism. This is very much like a supply side focused effort to build new homes, right? Like 3 million new homes is how many she plans to build. Do we think that's a good policy?
Has she expanded?
She should pressure the states to allow it to make it easier to build housing and to build like apartments, whether instead of like making the federal government the only way for new housing to be built. Like,
well, I think that's what she's trying to do essentially. Hold on, I have a list of a few actions the Biden administration took here.
I don't have a list. So
has she expanded on how she's going to do that? Because the problem is not lack of homes; it's the problem of where homes are.
That's
also rental prices to an extent. So like, if she wants to build fucking 200 million new homes in bumfuck Kentucky, it's not going to make a difference.
I resent that.
Well, I think like this is the big
from Kentucky. I resent that.
This is the big like the YIMBY push that's been happening in the Democratic Party, where they're saying we want to remove the red tape that's making it harder to build homes, so that the market can work itself out and new affordable housing can be built where it's most needed. And I feel like she mentioned she wants to give a $40 billion innovation fund to spur innovative housing construction. I don't know exactly what that means, but she wants to repurpose some federal land for housing. She wants to remove tax benefits for investors who buy large single-family homes, which I don't think is a big issue, but yeah. And then I think tax incentive for builders who build starter homes for first-time home buyers. And the expansion of tax incentive for building affordable rental housing. So like, there's a lot of tax incentives.
Her shit on first-time home buyers is largely just what is already in existence. That like you can get zero down, you can get your what's it called? Your like closing costs and shit paid for with programs that already exist. Yes, you have to dig and you have to actually try, but like I was in this process just a couple months ago. You can fucking get it from the federal government already. I think she's just yapping to make people like you happy. But I will say, like, I could have a like or dislike for her like building new homes. She just needs to explain how she actually wants to do that, because right now it could be completely useless, thrown away money, or it could be something that's actually helpful. And we don't know
a few ways that she tried to that she wants to do it. She wants to grant tax incentives for people to build affordable homes, and she wants to
no, but she said that she wants to like actually give money into this. Like what is the giving money into this? That's what
the $40 billion for innovative home construction.
That's one example. What the fuck is that? You also admitted you don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know exactly what that is, but like I could imagine it's probably similar to something like Canada did.
What is it, more fucking 3D printed houses that are
like Canada invested a ton of money in building modular home factories where we could literally fucking they can mass produce like modular homes that can be like built by like fucking Lego bricks. I'd imagine it'd be something like that.
We already have that. That's the thing.
Yeah, but we're investing more money in it.
She's talking about innovating it. She's not talking about actually using it to build houses. She's talking about innovating
new ways. A new $40 billion fund to spur innovative housing construction. Whatever that exactly means.
So, is it like a new way of like building houses, or is this like improving the tools to build houses, or like the way we currently build houses? Like, I don't understand this whole innovative. Like, what makes it innovative?
I feel like both of our problems are that it's vague. Like, it could be good, it could be bad. It's just too vague. She has not like expanded on it enough for it to be something that I can say I like or dislike.
Okay, sure.
I will say, if she were to federally say we should get rid of all housing zoning restrictions, I would agree with that more than anything else she's done.
100%.
Well, she's basically said like this is the whole like Obama and like most of the Democratic Party, the DNC, is like literally like saying like YIMBY speech. Like they're all mentioning like we want to cut the red tape that's preventing housing construction.
Yeah, the problem is she can't. So
yeah.
What if she can't hear?
That's the biggest thing.
I have a list, okay? I have another list of actions the Biden administration took to do exactly this. They made the Department of Housing and Urban Development is announcing the availability of $100 million to communities to identify and remove barriers to affordable housing production and preservation. So it's like a very like
say that one more time. Say that one more time slowly.
Slow down.
Yeah.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development is announcing the availability of $100 million to communities to identify and remove barriers to affordable housing production and preservation.
Is basically saying we are spending $100 million on an ad campaign so people can remove that on their own. That's not saying that they're going to do anything about it. That's just saying that we're going to tell people what is wrong with your community so that you can fix it yourself. That's never going to happen. Like the only thing that the federal government could do is if they pressure the state governments about like withholding like federal aid. That's the only thing that they really could do, but they're not going to do that.
Well, yeah,
like Washington recently
changed the local zoning law. So, like, the point of this money is to give money to local groups that can then look into where they can actually cut this red tape that's preventing housing construction.
Lobbying
but it's not going to happen.
It's just government lobbying.
It's government lobbying our own government. Yes, it's the federal government lobbying state governments.
That's what you said. Wait, that's what you guys just said you wanted to do. You just said you want the federal government to pressure state governments into
But one difference one is spending money on an ad campaign, and the other one is saying do this or we're going to remove your money, remove your federal aid. Like there's multiple ways that they could do it.
Okay, so that's how. If you want to call back to like when that has worked, the fucking nicotine moving up to 21. It wasn't actually forced on all states. It was said, do this or you lose funding. Idaho, for one, spent like 3 years with no fucking funding from the federal government, or very little from the federal government, because they didn't want to raise it up to 21. And then eventually they gave in, it did. But that was a situation where this worked across the board, and every state's 21 years old for nicotine now.
So you
don't need to lobby to do
issue. So saying it's a state issue when the federal government has the power to pressure these states to do this is just like, I don't know.
So you think the federal government should like withhold highway funds?
That's what they do.
Well, yeah, I know that's what
literally what they do.
I'm saying is this a do we want the federal government withholding highway funds specifically just to force communities into cutting red tape?
So saying that they've done like everything in their power when they haven't. They could do these things, but they don't, because it's an issue that will continue on, that will get them elected in the future. This is why I don't like politicians in general.
I'm not saying they have done absolutely everything in their power. I'm just saying I think they've taken concrete steps into trying to build more homes.
$100 million.
I don't think those steps are very concrete. The problem with it is that it's a fucking money funnel. That's it. It is a way of spending a shit ton of money, and yes, you're spending money trying to address this problem. You're right there. But you're overspending to all hell with very little actual result.
You don't
that's it. It's wasting money. You know I don't like fucking spending.
I'll admit I don't have evidence on the counterfactual side of it. I don't have evidence that how effective this one specific policy was. I'm just curious.
How about this? Wait. How about this? The federal government spent almost no money to make every single state have the legal age for nicotine to be 21. How much money have they spent on this? And how many states have eliminating housing zoning requirements?
eliminated completely? I'm assuming it's 0, but we can probably look
like
into how many.
heavily lowered. Like Washington, I do know heavily lowered ours like a year ago or something. How many states have?
Let me see if I have it listed.
And that's just in the last 4 years, right? Because you can't include shit from before that on this. I would like to say specifically how many that this has targeted, but I'll give you just how many because that'll be hard.
You say that the federal government spent 0 money without pressuring. In fact, they probably saved money because you said Idaho.
No, they just withheld it. They just withheld it and reallocated
it. Says 19 states.
Okay.
Yeah, they still spent all that money. They should have given it back to us, but
to communities across 19 states. Will update state and local housing plans, revise land use policies, streamline the permitting process for housing construction, and take other actions to create more housing-forward communities.
How is that counted? So is it like if you get like one county in like the middle of nowhere and they reform their housing, their zoning laws, it's like they count that as like a state that's been reformed, or is it like across the entire state?
It's a community.
How's it counted?
Well, it just says a community across 19 states. So obviously, this is money given to local communities primarily. So it's not going to be statewide reform for all of them.
Yeah.
That's the money that was given. Did it work?
175 communities, they did, reform their land, their land use plans. Or sorry, applications were submitted for more than 175 communities. Here, I have the list of all the communities that changed some of their housing rules. Okay. Montgomery, Anaheim, Antarctica. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Los Angeles County,
the Antarctic?
Denver, the Antarctic. Yep, hell yeah. Metropolitan Transport Commission, the Bay Area. Yeah, New York City did it. Philadelphia did it. The entire state of Rhode Island did it, although the entire state of Rhode Island is like one city. So.
Wait, this isn't giving money to do it. This is giving money because you did
it. That's even better then, right? Giving money because you did it?
Well, they already did it.
I thought it was giving money to do it, but.
No, I'm like just quickly skimming this to be honest, because it's a whole article. But it looks like these are like the people who did it, and then they give. Well, yeah,
they did it. They did it because they sent in an application to receive money, and then I'm pretty sure once they received it, they were held to cutting the red tape.
What was that money spent on? Like, was it just like a reward money for the individual state? Like.
Well, I think it was spent on all the resources needed to like analyze where any inefficiencies are and what the best policies are to implement in a specific county.
Okay, wait. So applications were submitted across more than 175 communities across 47 states. Successful applicants demonstrated a commitment to eliminating barriers to housing and progress towards creating more housing-forward communities. The winners are actively deploying strategies to boost housing supply reform, yada, 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 yada. So these are the people that are already doing it that are getting money, not people that are getting money. Okay, they got money for doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Which also, they're already doing it. Why are you giving them more money? They obviously can do it without
They were doing it because they got the money, right? This provides an incentive for them to do it. What?
I don't give a fuck about incentives. Withhold their goddamn money if you want them to do it.
People respond to incentives.
Stop giving them more money. That's the thing. Stop giving them more money. I'm a fucking libertarian. Remember this. Stop giving them more money. Let me have more money in my paycheck.
People respond to incentives. You're giving these communities an incentive to become more libertarian.
As a libertarian, I should know that obviously, aside from my health insurance that gets taken out of my paycheck, the only fucking shit that is actually substantive that gets taken out of my goddamn paycheck is the federal government, because I live in a state with no income tax. I say, give me my goddamn money. Stop spending it. I would like to use it to pay rent. I could pay rent in a much nicer place if I had that in my pocket.
You're giving money to communities for them to become more libertarian. You're giving money to communities for them to become YIMBY and repeal these housing, these like red tape laws that are like
I can donate to them if I want to. I donate the shit that I support. I do that by my own volition.
I think I hate to break it to you. Okay, Gorps, you and your 18 viewers are not going to raise $3 million to give the state of Rhode Island enough money to actually cut all these red tape housing laws.
Oh, well, I don't care about the red tape other than the elimination of zoning. That alone is a massive amount.
This money was given to not going to totally eliminate zoning.
We're a little off topic here. Let's get back to the Trump Harris.
You're such a bitch.
We're reeling back in.
We're going down this policy line of this is one policy that Harris has done to help with the building of affordable housing.
But now there are
like 5 other things I could list off here.
Okay.
Hey, he wanted to compare it to Trump. I'm saying if he wants to get me to be a partisan hack, he's gonna have to beat the libertarians on it.
Okay, what policies? What do y'all think about Trump's policies that he's founded off? I mean, like it was just tariffs and.
Well, we're all going to agree that Trump is insane.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't think the tariffs are necessarily bad. I just think they're ineffective. They're more effective ways of doing things, but I don't think they're necessarily bad. Some of them are bad. The blanket tariff is bad, but like tariff on EVs and shit coming from China. That's fine.
China.
Fine. Do that. I don't care.
I don't entirely disagree with some of the tariffs on China. However, I will say if you want to do things like onshore manufacturing, you should probably vote for Kamala Harris. The Biden administration is the only administration that actually got substantial investments in onshoring American jobs, especially in the chip manufacturing industry, which is where we need it most because of the national security threat posed from Taiwan.
Jobs within the United States, do you need the federal government to invest in that though? Like, is that a requirement? Like part of the reason why people do tariffs is the fact that because the product is more expensive within the home country, it encourages businesses to develop around those products because it's more profitable to get involved in that.
Well, yeah, but the federal government is the only one that can do tariffs, right? States can't. I don't think states can propose tariffs.
What I'm saying is,
tariffs are fine.
You need federal funding in order to promote new jobs.
I would say the federal government is probably going to be the best one to do that. Yeah, because they have way more money than state governments, and it's probably better to enact this on a national level than it is just on a state level if it's for national security.
Can I give you a free way to do that? They didn't even have to spend any money.
A free way to do what? That's it. The government would just be spending money on a freeway, and the state would spend the money on the chips,
something
right?
that doesn't spend any money that would increase jobs in America, and specifically manufacturing, shit like that. You loosen fucking regulations. You make America an environment where companies can actually be more profitable, and they will come and they will set up their goddamn factories, and we will have so many goddamn American jobs.
Okay, wait. You're proposing that the federal government give Arizona a highway for them to build a chip factory there?
No, I'm proposing the federal government stop butting into the market and stop butting into the market and hindering businesses with regulations.
Well, it sounded like you agree that there's probably a need to onshore some of these jobs.
That's free.
Right?
That's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Getting rid of regulations is free. I'm saying we don't have to spend money to fix this. You are saying we must spend so much money on it to fix it. I'm saying no.
If you want to incentivize, if you want to incentivize companies to build chip fabs here, giving them money to build chip fabs here is an efficient way to do that. I would say so.
Why do they need the money to do it here? Why are they doing it somewhere else?
Because right now it's cheaper to do it in Taiwan because labor is cheaper, and to an extent, I'm sure there are more regulations here than there are in Taiwan. Or whatever,
the regulations here are largely what make it so expensive to do it here. That's the thing.
I don't know if we have data on that, but there were probably some regulations that I would I'm not a particularly big fan of the corporate tax. That's probably a dumb policy or whatever. But if I want chip manufacturers to build chips in the U.S., I would encourage them to do so by giving them subsidies to build their chip factories here rather than in Taiwan.
I think our subsidies have always just led to monopolies, and I don't think it's a good plan to keep doing them. Look at the fucking food industry. What have our subsidies created?
Well, the point of the food subsidies is to ensure our nation's food supply is protected from other. It's to ensure our nation's food supply chain is secure.
Because they're not going to small farmers. They're just going to
that's not really how I analyze whether a subsidy is effective. I don't really care.
The subsidies were needed in the 30s. The subsidies are no longer needed. The food industry is so unimaginably profitable now. You don't need them. Stop doing them.
I don't know if the food industry is necessarily
subsidies.
Unimaginably profitable. There are definitely food subsidies I don't think we need anymore. Like we definitely don't need to fucking subsidize corn anymore and be giving and incentivizing the production of high fructose corn syrup. Probably don't need to be doing that anymore. But my understanding is that the point of a lot of our food subsidies is to protect our nation's food supply because we don't want to outsource. Now, I'm a free trade guy, so I don't necessarily think that's always a good thing. But from my perspective, it doesn't really matter if that money is going from two small or big farmers, because either way, it's just an incentive for them to stay here rather than outsource to another country.
Do you care about monopolies?
I care about monopolies to an extent, yeah. But like, if a monopoly is doing what we want it to do, then it's can probably be fine.
No,
is it doing what we want it to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say
these monopolies are paying illegal immigrants. Say, for example, fucking $2 an hour, which is like actually what some of them are getting with no tips, obviously, right? These monopolies are doing that. These monopolies are constantly fucking contaminating our shit. Do you really think they're doing what we want them to do? Or is it just this one thing that they do that we want and everything else they go against our wants or needs?
Well, obviously, a monopoly, I don't think it's ever going to be profitable competition. But if I want chip manufacturing to be done in the U.S. and Intel is the only one that's going to be able to build chip fabs, then in some sense that will be a monopoly. Although it'll still face foreign competition. Obviously,
do it?
They're the only ones with the technology right now, right? Other than TSMC.
Why are they the only ones with the technology?
I'm not sure exactly.
Patents, regulation.
Oh, patents, sure. I mean, I have a book on patents right there. I might agree with you on some patent stuff, but.
That's regulation.
Yeah, patents are regulation.
You see what it all comes back to.
I'm just saying, if we want to incentivize the production of chip manufacturing here, an effective way to do that doesn't require getting rid of patents. I understand I don't know if you're in favor of getting rid of all patents. I think instead of giving companies subsidies to build manufacturing plants here is going to incentivize them to build manufacturing plants here.
Where are you going to get these subsidies, though? Because it's like we have this whole thing about raising the deficit and all that. Like, I don't understand where all this money is going to be coming from.
Well, neither president is going to reduce the deficit. I don't know. I think Harris I don't agree with some of Harris's tax plans, but I think Harris is suggesting raising the capital gains tax. As well as the unrealized capital gains tax.
Wait. Yeah, the unrealized capital gains tax. Do you actually support that? Nonfon? Also, your friend is being very quiet. I want your friend to talk.
Yeah, listen, this is the conversation where I can't give much input. Yeah.
Lame friend.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I think she wants to raise the corporate income tax to 28%.
Wait.
And
I
asked
a question.
What do you
think about the unrealized capital gains tax?
No, haven't you seen me argue against that? No, I don't like that, but I also don't think it'll get past the Senate.
Okay, that's fair. Just asking. I don't watch your stream, so I don't know many.
Well, then you watch me. I remember I was debating fucking PPG on it, and you said, "I hate to break it. I hate to say this, Nonfon, but you're winning." And that was a nice.
Yeah,
nice compliment.
I think that was the only thing that I watched from you. No offense, I just
not the one PPG interaction. Do we not have Minar Nonfon? What's going on? I feel like
Minar's a van streamer. I was gonna have him, but Minar's a van streamer, so I can't.
Oh, not again.
Again? Hold on. What's going on here?
Oh yeah, he's a character. He's a character.
Okay, I was.
We got a band.
What this time?
Can we I don't know what got him banned last time. Can we at least agree that politically, doing things to give companies subsidies is probably more politically feasible than patent reform right now?
No.
I don't care what's political feasible. I care about what I'm actually supporting.
Okay.
You realize I'm voting for Chase Oliver in Washington State.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of feasibility in that option.
I vote on
point,
as a Washington State voter, just so you know who you're arguing against. I vote on my fucking conscience. Okay, sure. My state, no matter what, is going to Kamala. My state, almost no matter what, is going to blue policy. That's just the thing. That's just that. I vote in my primary to try to change it a little bit, but like that's just that. I will vote with my conscience. I'll vote for what I actually believe in.
If the race was closer, would you still vote in that direction?
If the race was closer in my state,
yeah,
or in general,
my
just state, in your state,
this election specifically, probably, but depending on the situation of another election, it
would vary case by case.
Could be varied. Like I've also like in 2016, I couldn't vote, but I would have voted for Hillary. In 2020, I voted for Trump. Like, I'm not like tied to either of these two parties. It's just right now I'm tied to the opposite of either of these two parties.
Were you a fan of RFK?
For a blip, yes.
For a blip, I got a personal friend of mine who is a adamant RFK supporter. Like,
oh yeah,
I was actually for a longer period of time. I was a Liz Cheney. She never fucking ran, but I was a Liz Cheney supporter. I think that would have been good. I still think that would have been good.
Yeah, there was one dude who called Nonfon for an hour and tried to convince him on RFK, but of course he was too bipartisan. I don't know who could have done that.
Man, I wonder.
And now they're working on a documentary about RFK.
Yeah, that debate has a lot of dislikes on YouTube, by the way.
I heard. Is that the 50?
No, that was a more recent video. That was just a reaction video.
What happened with the 50? I heard about that. I remember I clicked on your
because like I obviously don't have a big like core audience on YouTube, so whenever YouTube promotes my shit to like new people, it there's a negativity bias for the people who interact with it. So like people who are like okay with it don't know me, they don't care enough to like, but people who aren't okay with it are always going to dislike and comment. So
damn, seems like your fans ain't strong enough.
Yeah, true. Why don't you tell them?
I'm so happy you're here now.
You are, Sergeant.
No, why don't you tell them what your community is nicknamed that you told me that one time?
No, we don't have to go over that. No, and
I do want to. I want to learn this. Tell me. Okay.
Yeah, why don't you tell them?
Like Destiny. Destiny has this website, it's destiny.gg, and Vosh has this website, it's vosh.gg, and all the political streamers have and Destiny is a DGGer. I didn't know it. Obviously, I didn't know this when I came up with the name Nonfon. If I bought a website and it was nonfon.gg, my fans would not have a good name. It's a bit of an issue.
God, you sound like a Republican now.
Yeah, he just dropped that on me one day in call. He's like, "What's up,
my name to something that would work."
Anyway, okay, we're on what patent reform versus giving companies money to build plants here.
What's free to do and actually could make a difference?
I don't think patent. First of all, we already have many difference. We already have many difference with a lot of the Chips and Science Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. We've seen manufacturing spending increase in exactly the areas we need it to. We've seen employment and manufacturing increase in exactly the areas we need it to. I think this was a really good, effective policy.
My argument is patent just reform for free.
Patent reform also is not free. I mean, because there's an... What?
The only thing that's not free about it is the fucking lobbying. Oh, I'll take one, homie. Come on. Give me a handful. No. Actually, I'm more of a Pirates booty guy. I will admit.
Sorry, I don't have any.
Damn, I saw some at the store. Almost got it.
I mean, there's an opportunity cost to everything, okay? Nothing is free.
What is, other than lobbying, what costs money to get rid of patents?
I don't know if it counts as lobbying. You have to pay congressional staffers to write up proposals and stuff. Or I'm sure there's things that actually probably already have proposals, but yeah. Yep. Also, everything has an opportunity cost.
There are multiple proposals already written. Easy. Point and shoot.
But even I'm pretty sure even with patent reform, like companies just don't have. It's just not profitable to produce chips in the U.S. right now because our labor is too expensive, and Taiwan already has all the infrastructure built up, so that they already have all the fixed costs.
They have a head start.
They already have all the fixed costs built up. I would imagine even if we did patent reform, even if we completely got rid of patents, it would probably still be cheaper to produce in Taiwan than it is to produce in Arizona. So it's probably good to give Intel money to produce in.
And then you tariff.
What do you think is? What do you think causes more deadweight loss? A tariff or or
what
do
you think causes more spending
Intel?
Of American dollars? What increases American dollars? Like what increases the amount of money we have to spend, and what just spends the money? Right?
Okay.
The tariffs, though not efficient, I agree with you there. Don't fucking spend U.S. money.
You know, there's a better option besides tariffs and like subsidies. We could just like create contracts. Like, let's say you set up like an Intel plant, right? Then they're making Intel chips. you could set up like a government contract where it's saying like all missiles now can only use like these chips, and that would be like
that's
a guaranteed source of revenue.
That's also true.
Sort of what we do. Like we give Intel money specifically to build.
That's how we keep our aviation industry alive.
Yeah, it's not about giving them money to build. It's about saying that this is what the government is going to buy. It like artificially increases the profitability of these companies by saying we will buy from you.
Well, that's kind of what we did. Like company, I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure companies did have to compete for the subsidy money under the CHIPS Act. But also, again, like only a handful of companies even have the technology to even
I was going to say
get started developing this stuff.
We need at least 2, probably 3 is best companies.
Sure. Okay. So this is where we're going to disagree a lot. Okay. I would rather spend $8 billion or whatever we gave the Intel and increase the deficit by $8 billion than do tariffs, because tariffs are just way more inefficient. How much do we think the deficit matters and why?
I think
it matters, but it's not like a top issue. I think it's overblown.
The deficit is the U.S. dollar is faith-based essentially, so it's like faith in the economy directly correlates to like how valuable our dollar is. So, and I feel like the deficit is tied to that, like the optics of that. If we let it get too high, then people are going to be unfaithful about the dollar.
I mean, yeah, we're faith-based, but that's that's the reason why we can't ever actually default. We could have high inflation, but we couldn't actually. The Federal Reserve could always act as a lender of last resort, so we could never actually default. But
high inflation's a bad thing in and of itself.
Well, sure, yeah. But if I'm weighing like $8 billion added to the deficit versus tariffs, which would probably lose, I would imagine, more than $8 billion in consumer surplus, I'm probably going to side with the $8 billion added to the deficit.
But yeah, when you just do tariffs alone, that's the thing, is you're thinking about each of these individual circumstances. I'm saying all of them need to happen.
This thing, we need tariffs and patent reform. What would this patent reform look like?
Get rid of them. I would say keep them for art.
It's not patent reform, it's patent removal.
Yeah, I know. Well, it can be reform if I say keep them for art.
Yeah, that's not.
I think art. I think it's valid to patent art. That's it.
Patent art. So you believe that Disney should keep their patents?
I think it's fine. I have no issue with Disney's patents on like their fucking musicals.
For 95 years?
I will say, Far 4 can finally get a facelift now that the original Mickey Mouse patent is up, which is a very good thing.
Do you think 95 years is too long for the copyright stuff for corporations?
I think.
Oh, come on. You're a libertarian. Come on. Even I think like 30 years.
Well, I'm just talking about for art. Yeah. Like, I'm just talking about for art. For art.
Well, I'm talking about for art. Yeah. For like copyright, which is like intellectual property, like art stuff. Not all. Like Disney has
not all copyright is necessarily art.
I think if it's tied to an individual person, it should last for as long as they're like alive, and the moment they're dead.
Well, right now it's death plus 70 years.
Yeah, wait. I've come to my conclusion for your fucking question.
Okay.
For an individual person, 10 years after they die.
That seems family absurd to me. That seems absurd.
I think their family should get some benefits. Sorry, suck my dick. For a corporation, 30 or 40.
How would you stop a corporation from just like buying the rights? Like they could say, hey, if we give you this amount of money, can we use it, but you keep ownership of it? So then like every Disney product just goes to a single person and they own the rights of it, but the corporation itself is just leasing the rights. Like how do you get around that?
You can't, but that's just how
the patent runs out. Patent runs out and you're done.
Well, it'd run out when he dies, though, because it would be a person that's owning it, but the corporation would be leasing it. Or if
well, then it runs out 10 years after he dies. Sucks.
So it would be bigger than it is now, though.
What?
I just think that would be more years than it is now, though. I feel like that's...
No, if somebody made something at 50 and then leases it out and dies at 70, it's only 30 years. Most of the people are making things when they're later in life, anyways. Like, it's not...
I feel like that's
most
absurd.
Most people are not inventing shit at 20.
I feel like
it should be like 30 years, buddy. But regardless,
I said 30 or 40.
You said 30, 40 for corporate. You said death plus 10 years for a person.
I feel like it should depend because there's like
really how about wait. How about death plus 10 years and you can't lease it out? You can like
I think
you can sell rights to
years.
individual pieces, but like
or less. That seems absurd to me. I think it should be like 30 years or less. If you make something, you can exclusively use it for 30 years. And beyond that, you can still use it. It just becomes available for everyone else to use as well. I think 30 years is long enough. But regardless, that's not the point I actually want to argue.
Either way, we all think that there should be less, right? Do we have agreements?
Yeah, I think patents are
okay. Great, I'm
because
of
Ronald Reagan. Actually, it's actually Ronald Reagan's fault. If you actually look into it, it's Ronald Reagan's fault. But regardless, anyway, okay.
My job is to work against the fucking partisan hackery that is Nonfon, and I think I just did it.
True.
Thank you guys.
I'm not. I always think I'm not that much about partisan hack. Like,
show the bank statements.
I think I am paid. Yeah.
Wait.
By
Nonfon,
Kamala Harris
do you still
herself.
like Biden? Do you still like
what do you mean? Do I still like him? Yeah, I'm writing him in. Yeah, I agree.
Not already voting for him. Do you like him? Yeah, partisan hack. Easy.
Dude, I don't like the fact that he's old, but I like most of his policies. I'll say that. Okay, the point I actually want to argue is, I'm sure you've done debates like this before. Why would Intel ever invest in research and development for chip fabs if there's no patents and their research and development can just be copied by another company who never took that risk?
Because, well, first of all, them taking the risk and actually having the balls to do that gives them the initial what's it called? The initial earnings.
Yeah.
Probably 20 years ahead of earnings of any of these other companies. All right, so there's initiative number 1. Government contracts. Initiative number 2. If you fucking innovate, the government wants to buy your shit because they want to spy on all of us. Simple as. Number 3. You are a innovator in that market. You are trusted if you are early on and you are making good products. You are going to get more resources or more buying. Say, honestly, NVIDIA is a great example here. Everybody fucking trusts NVIDIA GPUs. I don't think there's anybody that you could ask that knows about NVIDIA or GPUs that would say, I don't trust NVIDIA GPUs. If you have some random fucking newbie on the market, it's like, well, I don't know if that's going to work. Why do I want to spend $1,500 on that GPU? You have that whole established connection.
That's true to an extent, and I don't know how high the research and development costs are in the semiconductor industry specifically. But like for medicine, I think that would ever work, just because the marginal cost is so low and the initial capital investment is so high. As a drug company, you would never invest over $1 billion to bring a drug to market when your competitor can immediately take that drug, the same exact formula, and produce it at a marginal cost of $5 a pill. There's just no way you would ever take that deal.
Drugs like a 5 or 10 year patent. How about that?
Okay, drugs a 5 or 10 year patent.
But I also feel like, for like what you just said, that also kind of shows to like Nonfon's point of like, yeah, there's trust in the name. So like, if NVIDIA doesn't put any effort into producing something because they know that someone else will, and whenever they produce it, people would trust NVIDIA more than they would trust them. Wouldn't that just incentivize them more not to produce? Like, let's say there's company A and there's NVIDIA, and NVIDIA knows they have more trust in NVIDIA than company A, like the public does, then NVIDIA would never try to be innovative because they'll just wait for company A to do it.
If they get beat to the new innovation, then that is the company that has the new innovation. Like there still is that new company, like not new company, but that new innovation that is good. There is the trust in that. Somebody else tries to follow along, you know it's not going to be as good. Almost always. Unless you're like 5-10 years delayed, in which case you can get up to that level. But they're always going to be delayed if they choose that strategy, and they're always going to lose those that like core base for the new product.
But it's obviously less strict or less protection than patents grant you. I don't know how much it's spent on specifically chip fabs, but like Intel spent like $16 billion on research and development last year. I don't know, like if NVIDIA...
How much did they make last year?
Probably 20 billion or something. I don't know. And they're only increasing they've been actually they decreased it from 20. Oh no, they increased it. Yeah, they've only really been increasing it.
Yeah, they're still fucking $4 billion profitable. And oh no, Okay, let's say then NVIDIA fails. Oh no. It's a monopoly that wasn't able to fucking keep up. I don't care if an NVIDIA crashes.
Every company would fail because all of their research and development could just be stolen by other people.
No, because everybody would inherently be behind. That's the thing.
But they
would be behind on their specific thing that they're trying to research and develop.
Not for
right, so they can consistently be ahead if they can consistently do R&D. Now, if they fall on that and they get beat out by some other fucking company, that sucks. Free market, home dog.
And I'm pulling up my book. But you understand they're not going to be ahead for that long. If they fall behind, they can fall. Specifically,
I have no problem with them falling.
But you're disincentivizing research and development. You would agree that relative to a system with patents, you are disincentivizing research and development, right?
When do they fall?
When do they fall? When they
in this thing that we've talked about, when are they falling?
Yeah, when they can't compete with other companies take their research and development and produce at a lower cost.
Yeah, so the other companies are doing the R&D now, okay? And let's say the other companies don't want to keep doing R&D. Guess what? When did they fall? When the next company comes and does the R&D.
You realize you're disincentivizing the research and development itself. That's the whole issue.
It is incentivizing research and development for everybody involved because everybody knows, one, if you're at the top, you fall when you stop developing. And if you're at the bottom, you raise up when you start developing.
Okay, do you think if I own a company and I know if I spend $10 billion in research and development, am I going to be more likely to spend that money if I can get a patent on it, or less likely to spend that money if I can't, or more likely to spend it if I can't get a patent on it?
I don't care if you're more or less likely. It's not about whether you can get the patent on it. It's about whether you fucking survive in the marketplace of ideas.
Well, this is the issue with incentives. We probably want to incentivize research and development, right? That's probably a thing the government generally wants to do.
They don't need to. Competition itself, like actual competition. No, they don't need to. They don't need to incentivize it for it to happen. Actual competition in the market incentivizes it just the same, and it's free. That's the thing. Right now we're propping up. Wait. Right now we're propping up companies that got ahead 30 fucking years ago, and basically blocking everybody else out of the market. Everybody else that can provide that competition. That competition can also create the incentive to do R&D. Jesus Christ, to do R&D.
I'm not disagreeing.
What did you write down?
Good one, bro. This is his own fucking Twitch blog. I'm not disagreeing that competition also provides an incentive for research and development. I'm just saying, although there would be some baseline level of research and development no matter what, there's also patents also incentivize research and development, because I know if I take on $10 billion worth of debt to research a new product, that product can immediately be stolen by another company who didn't take on $10 billion worth of debt to make a new product. Yeah.
Yeah, but your options are either do that or fail. That's the thing. That's what you're missing. That's what the competition actually creates. It's do this or fail. Right now, what we have is NVIDIA can never fail. I keep using NVIDIA as an example because it's what I know a bit more.
Yeah, no, I think Biden was actually, the Biden FTC was actually, I think they were looking at breaking up NVIDIA, but I don't actually remember. NVIDIA antitrust. But that's another thing I think Biden's done relatively well is antitrust stuff, by the way. But obviously competition, yes, we agree, creates a... What?
It's another thing that removing patents and regulations can do better for free.
You know, the Patent and Trademark Office actually makes money because users actually pay fees to get their patent applications. Yeah, it's like one of the few profitable.
It's also free to get rid of it. The IRS is also profitable. I'm more for the IRS getting funding than a patent office.
Biden funded the IRS for it.
I do. Biden's not running, home dog.
Well, yeah, but his vice president is, but yeah.
Kamala didn't do shit on that. Come on. You know this.
Didn't the Inflation Reduction Act have IRS funding in it? Well, she was the tie-breaking vote on that, brother.
Pretty sure the IRS funding in that one, that wasn't the big IRS funding one, was it? I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he did a separate big IRS thing that was lumped in with some other bullshit. I don't.
authorize supplemental funding through September 30th.
Woke CIA drone pilot says, fuck Genocide Joe and his running dog, KK Kamala.
Crazy. Okay,
Holy
we understand. What?
I found that hilarious. KK Kamala.
So let's look at Kamala's policy on Israel and Palestine.
Oh yeah, I was literally going to mention that.
I
feel like
let's look at Kamala saying. Let's look at Kamala saying that she wants the most lethal fighting force the world has seen.
Oh yeah, Kamala.
For America.
Come on, Liv. Come on, stand up for it. Defend it.
Palestine, we will protect Israel. Israel has the right to defend itself. It has the right to do whatever we want, but we have to also stand up for the Palestinians as well. It was like she was trying to play both. It was really weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's become
so Kamala voters on the call. Do we support Kamala?
Are we really gonna get president this year? I gotta finish the fucking patent thing. Oh my god,
this is my issue. This is my fucking show.
And boring.
All right.
Do it. You guys can say you don't support it. We can move on. That's fine. But do you support it?
Support what part of it? The
any of it. Any of her actual what she wants.
Trying to get a ceasefire? Yeah, I mean she is trying to get a ceasefire, right?
She is right now.
Moves to that position.
Why is there not a ceasefire? When we're funding the military bombing kids, why is there not a ceasefire?
Yeah, Isaac, buddy. It's not a ceasefire right now because I think Hamas wants Fuck, what's the main? The sticking point for a while
has
was
agreed
whether,
to a ceasefire since February.
I was going through the sticking point. Hamas, I think, wants a temporary ceasefire, and Israel wants a permanent ceasefire. Right? That's been the big
opposite.
That's been the big thing right now.
Opposite.
What? Sorry, Hamas wants a temporary.
The exact opposite of that. Hamas wants a permanent. Israel wants a temporary.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Yes, correct.
That's not even the big sticking
point. Hamas wants to remain in power.
As Israel,
right now, the big sticking point is that Israel wants to keep occupying the Philadelphia corridor.
Has Israel upheld its ceasefire agreements, the ones that they've negotiated with Hamas?
No.
Which one?
The one in November they broke within 12 hours.
So yeah,
that was the temporary truce ones, right? Wait, how was that?
The ceasefire that happened in November, Israel broke within 12 hours by flying drones over southern Gaza when it was directly written that they could not do that during daylight hours.
The hostages were released in that deal, right?
Yeah, Hamas followed their end of the deal. Israel broke it. Instantly.
Yeah, were there Palestinian prisoners released as well from the West Bank?
Yes.
Okay.
It was just that one aspect of the deal that was broken. But that still breaks the deal.
It still breaks the deal. They were still the first ones to break the deal. It's also disputed as to who fired the first shot that actually broke the deal in terms of gunfire, but they broke the deal 12 hours in.
I've been live for 5 hours.
Damn.
Wild. It would have been if my Wi-Fi didn't shit itself.
Maybe
all right.
I remember that.
Okay.
Excuses.
Can we first agree
libtard streamer
that Trump would probably be worse for Israel-Palestine stuff?
Yeah, I'm not voting for Trump.
Okay, I just wanted to get that clear. Okay, that's all I want. That's all I wanted to get.
Trump started this, so this current iteration, Trump started it, so he would definitely not be good for it.
Sure. With the Abraham Accords and the moving the embassy to Jerusalem and the recognition of the annexation of Golan Heights, which to be fair, Biden hasn't presented. Sure. Yeah.
Granted, Biden couldn't move the embassy back.
I thought it was.
I'm not saying that's an actual thing that matters that much, but
I thought he didn't rescind. I know he didn't rescind the recognition of the Golan Heights as Israeli territory, but I thought he did remove the embassy back. Maybe I'm wrong though.
I don't believe he did.
Because I feel like
I could be wrong, but I have not seen anything saying he did.
I feel like I remember reading articles about an embassy in Tel Aviv. Maybe we just have multiple embassies.
Well, right now we have active military in Tel Aviv, so maybe that's what you read.
Okay, so is our big issue with Kamala that she supports Israel? Do we support Iron Dome funding for Israel at all, or is that off the table as well?
Iron Dome funding?
If they want to agree to a ceasefire, no.
Okay.
Force them to agree to ceasefire.
It's the big sticking points to Philadelphia corridor right now, right? So Israel, I'm assuming, is refusing to withdraw from that. Yeah. Do we think
There's also the Netzarim corridor, but it's less of an issue. I think they've agreed to maybe leave that one. which is central Gaza.
Do we accept that Hamas has probably smuggled in weapons from the Sinai Peninsula before, right?
Yep.
100%.
So, I just don't think that Israel should break its peace treaty with Egypt.
With Egypt, yeah. I don't know. I haven't read into that at all. You could.
Also, every time they have occupied the Philadelphia corridor, they have bulldozed countless houses. Last time they occupied the Philadelphia corridor, they bulldozed an American to death.
Oh,
they don't do good things in that corridor, ever.
Well, I'm just saying, can we understand the Israeli motivation here to prevent weapons being smuggled into the Gaza Strip that are then used to attack Israel?
I don't care about it.
Okay. You don't care about it?
You want my opinion? I don't care about it. I don't care about their concerns.
Oh boy. Okay. We're going down. I can't believe we're going down this rabbit hole. All right. Do we think that is your position that Hamas is some resistance group acting in self-defense? Is that what we're? Is that where?
No, they're terrorists.
All right. Well, I'm saying, do we believe they're acting in some type of self-defense? Do we believe Israel has any right to prevent them from smuggling in weapons? Or
well, that's multiple questions. They're fucking terrorists. If they had simply targeted military targets, that I would 100% say yes, self-defense. They did not. That was horrendous. And when it comes to Israel having right to self-defense, they legally do not. For one. And two, if their right to self-defense is killing over 40 times the amount that was killed on their side, that's not self-defense. We can see what's happening for 11 months. It's not self-defense.
What's the basis for the no right to self-defense thing? Is it that Gaza's occupied, or is it something else?
Yeah. Also, like, if you want to consider, like, it depends on what your argument about it is. There's a contrary to all of them, but yes, they are the occupying force. They have been illegally operating in the West Bank, but two, in Gaza with their blockade and all of that shit. And that gives Hamas the right themselves to self-defense, but Israel not the right to self-defense by a international law.
Yeah, I
lens
agree.
of it.
Yeah. Are probably not agree that Gaza's occupied. I would agree that there's obviously a blockade on Gaza. I don't know if
the other argument that I commonly hear is that Gaza voted for them. Gaza's their own sovereign area and they can do whatever. Well, a blockade is considered an act of war. So by that standard, also, Israel's not defending themselves. Israel attacked.
Well, there's been continued conflict. They've been at war for.
No. Before there was any
conflict and
the start of the conflict was 75 years ago. Ultimately, Israel withdrew. That was kind of good, and then they implemented the blockade when Hamas came to power. That is an act of war. At that point, from Hamas being elected to Hamas coming to power, there was not an attack by Hamas on Israel. Israel,
but previously that there was a second Intifada, though, right?
2007 was not the second Intifada, I don't believe.
It was 2000 to 2005 was the second Intifada. Hamas was involved in the second Intifada, right? Do we not think that?
Yeah, not Hamas being in power. Hamas came into power in 2007.
Yeah, I'm aware that
operated under power. They were not in power. They were just some random terrorist organization. And then Israel decided to implement a blockade and collectively punish every single Palestinian in Gaza.
Yeah, but this is a group that Israel fought before in the second Intifada, and now they're coming to power in the Gaza Strip. You don't think there's justification there for
Israel
having
also
a blockade?
Put them in power, so there's not really justification at that point if Israel's going to be the ones putting them in power.
Well, yeah, they put them in power because they were fighting Fatah.
Yeah, Fatah, which is explicitly anti-violence. Do you understand this? Do you understand that what? What'd you say?
Who, me?
My microphone's working now.
Yeah, you. Nonfon.
Hi.
They were anti-violence at the time, right? They were literally fighting. They were fighting Hamas at the time.
Fatah was anti-violence against Israel. Hamas was pro-violence against Israel. Israel put Hamas in power in Gaza. I don't think you have a right to self-defense when you put them in power and then you blockade them before they've even done anything.
Well, this is a group that has attacked Israel in the past.
They put them in power.
They've been put in power. Yeah, they're in power now.
Israel put them in power.
Somewhat agree.
No,
Israel
not they're in power.
Sure.
Israel put them in power. Israel funded it. Israel put them on the ballot. They didn't need to be on the ballot. Israel did all of that. Okay. And then Israel cried, "Oh my God, a terrorist group is in power. We have to blockade."
Their efforts. Bro. I thought there were efforts to take them off the ballot, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? Was that the U.S. and Israel
America and the U.S. put them on the ballot. We made the ballot. That's the thing.
Wasn't the whole justification? Wasn't the whole justification for the Hamas coup in 2007 that the U.S. and Israel were trying to stage a coup against Hamas, right?
No, the justification for the coup was that Hamas wanted complete power and didn't want the PA and Fatah involved. And so they did the coup and kicked out Fatah and the
PA. Okay. Do we... I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough about the history of Fatah and the Gaza Strip to know whether or not they were attacking Israel. Isaac, did you ever... Do you know stuff about that? God damn it, Isaac! You're supposed to read. You were supposed to read the books.
Okay,
you're sitting there silently. You got to be doing something.
Well, I was doing something. Okay, are we talking about? What are we talking about?
We're talking about whether or not Israel has a justification to put a blockade on Gaza after the Second Intifada and after they put Hamas in power to fight Fatah. Whether or not that gives them justification to enact a blockade on the Gaza Strip.
What's the argument for why they weren't able to? Or why they shouldn't have been able to?
Because they
put Hamas in power and then they cried, "Oh my God, Hamas is in power. Now we have to collectively punish all the Palestinians." That's not justified, dude.
So
you're gonna stay silent? Oh, come on, buddy.
My bad. What are we saying that Israel put Hamas into power? Like, why are we saying that?
Because in 2007,
not us. Israel funded them. Israel and America, in lockstep, made the ballot and didn't have to include Hamas. There was many groups that we didn't include on that ballot. In fact, we didn't have to include them. We chose to. After having funded them and made them gain in both their military capabilities and their just like societal influence, then we put them on the ballot. And then we cried that they got elected, even though they got elected in a plurality, not a majority. But
so if we did put so if I'll follow the argument, if they put them into power, if they did install them into power, or whatever you're saying, right? And then we saw that there was some threat from them. Does that revoke the right to blockade them?
No. What was seen was that there was a threat beforehand. And then we put them into power. And then we said, "Oh my God, terrorists in power. We need to blockade."
Does that?
I don't think that's justified at that point. If we instill them into the fucking government.
But it was not like an installation. It was more like we're going to give the people the option to vote for this because these as a people should be able to self-govern, right?
While simultaneously funding them. That's the thing. We funded them. Israel also funded them. Israel funded them way more. I think we maybe didn't.
In what ways do you think the funding led to political aspirations?
In what ways do people donating for Kamala help her in her campaign? What do you think? What do you think that money does?
Also, I'm saying that Fatah did participate in the Second Intifada, right? I'm fairly certain we could find a bus bombing or an attack from Fatah in the Second Intifada.
It was mostly the other groups. Fatah might have done one or two things, but let me look.
But anyway, the original point wasn't the funding from that not it wasn't for terrorist activities against Israel. It was for the undermining of the what's the organization's name?
Fatah, the PA?
No, PLO,
Hamas,
PLA,
PLO. Well, those are
PLO.
the same. Well,
it doesn't matter if we're trying to undermine
right?
someone. So, if we were funding these people to give them power in the society, it doesn't matter if we were saying, "Oh, well, we don't want this other group, so we're going to fund this group." It doesn't fucking matter. We funded them.
The argument. Do you think we had a right to defend ourselves after 9/11?
True, we gave money to the Contras.
Yeah, we gave money.
I'm not. Wait, no. I'm not saying.
Hadim.
I'm not saying Israel should. First of all, you're completely switching the subject, but that's fine.
No,
I'm not saying that Israel shouldn't have had a response to
Well, you were saying that the blockade wasn't reasonable because they funded it, but what he's saying is we funded the Contras. Do you think that a response to
the Contras were in Nicaragua? The Mujahideen is what we funded in Afghanistan. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the American
almost
episode.
Everything that America has done with its military in the last 50 years is unwarranted.
What do you think of Ukraine?
50 years.
Yeah, last 50 years.
So you think bombing Serbia was not a good thing?
Oh no.
Okay, I don't know specifically.
We're switching topics.
Most of Eastern Ukraine.
We're pivoting.
Wait,
I don't know every fucking detail of every one of our actions.
Yeah.
But from what I do know of our actions the last 50 years, it's unreasonable.
But here,
there could be a couple instances. I don't know about Serbia that much, so I'm not even gonna
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna give you a non-answer. But
do you think Biden has done okay or good on Ukraine at all, or do you have an opinion on that?
He's done fine, I think.
Fine. Okay.
Ukraine is a mixed bag for me, so I'll just go.
The United States should have enforced a no-fly zone over Ukraine, but we didn't.
Enforce how?
And as in, we send U.S. jets over Ukraine and we enforce a no-fly zone. That's what we should have done.
Well, that would bring us into direct conflict with Russia, right? The issue there would be
Russia is violating Ukrainian airspace by doing this shit.
Well,
it's like,
but it doesn't change the fact that we.
You know, the inevitable conclusion there is that America is at direct conflict with Russian fucking fighters. All right, like this is inevitable. You can say it's not the reason, but it's inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Big issue there.
I don't care. If they don't want to be in conflict, they shouldn't be over Ukraine.
That's true, but I don't want I don't want another draft. Let's be real. Americans don't want to go back to war. If we were to go back to war, it would be a draft, I think, because we don't have the manpower.
We don't have the manpower. I mean,
no, we have fucking
Russia's been like completely fucking cold. I mean, like they've lost 500,000 soldiers in Ukraine.
Yeah, they're doing a draft. I'm saying like without a draft, we don't have the manpower.
What's our current military class right now?
I was about to say, I feel like you disrespected America.
We have a fucking massive.
We are under enrolled. Like I think it's been like 5 years, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, we do have a personnel
shortage. Under enrolled. Like we don't have the personnel that we normally. Or not normally. We would have had like 10 years
ago. The U.S. military strength as of February 21st, 2024 is of 2.86 million troops. It's slightly larger than the population of Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying we don't have people. I'm saying we are understaffed.
We are definitely funded.
That's the thing. We're understaffed for what we
I think we're also underfunded. We need more money.
Understaffed.
As shit.
Yeah.
We're such an underdog.
But specifically, we should have enforced a no-fly zone over Ukraine, or at least certain parts of Ukraine, at the very least.
What do you feel about the decision?
Wait. So what do you think should have happened if Russia broke that no-fly zone?
Yeah, that's the problem. Anytime you try to put your fingers on it.
What do you do when you break a no-fly zone? We shoot you down. That's what we do.
Well, that's a
and then Russia then responds to that.
If a Russian fighter entered U.S. airspace and was maneuvering aggressively, what do you expect us to do? Like, obviously, we shoot it down.
A balloon did.
Okay.
We just chilled.
Okay. What does that?
We shot that down too.
Wait. No. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, use your frontal lobe. Use your frontal
lobe. It's not developed till 25.
All right. We don't need a war with Russia. We don't need a U.S. versus Russia actually war. What you're insinuating would start that war, whether it be America getting pissed or Russia getting pissed. It would start that fucking war. We don't need that. We don't need more war.
Have we not enforced a no-fly zone before? Without a war, with direct conflict with
Libya, but
you know
Libya isn't Russia.
You know what both of these countries, both America and Russia, have said. Where if there's fucking direct harm to America, America will fucking respond to Russia. Russia has said time and time again, if there is even more NATO involvement, they'll respond tougher. Let alone American fighters in Russia's airspace. Or in Ukraine's airspace.
Russian red lines have been continually crossed and have been continually not upheld. I don't believe anything with the Russian red lines.
I think you're retarded.
Well, you could think that, but
My chat says Russia has hypersonics. I don't know the truth of that.
Russia does not have fucking hypersonics. The Russian hypersonics is a what's it called? Paper tiger. That's what it is.
I think your no-fly zone is a paper tiger.
Well.
Okay, so to refocus the conversation, our issues with Kamala, okay, are she spending too much money on stuff, and I guess spending money not efficient ways because you guys want to do, I guess you'll say it's free, but different types of reform. Her Israel policy. Are there any other big ones?
My biggest thing about her is she's flip-flopped so much. I don't actually know, on multiple things. Like, I don't actually know what she would want to implement because of the amount of time she's flip-flopped.
Gun policy, abortion. She's flopped on certain
BLM.
Wait, has she flip-flopped on abortion?
Defunding police. She's flip-flopped on.
I think she's changed on what specifically she would allow or not allow. Like, she completely avoided it in the debate. When they asked her what specific things.
Oh, would you ban 8-month abortions or whatever? Yeah, Democrats should be able to bite the bullet and say no. It's kind of cringe.
But she didn't do that. So.
Yeah, she did specifically say though, I would reinstate what Roe v. Wade said, which I think was a 16-week limit or whatever.
Well, it's not really a limit. It just with every trimester it adds more restrictions.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a limit, but that's what she is.
But yeah, Roe v. Wade did not really allow abortion. Full-on abortion up to 9 months or whatever. So I don't think.
I guess that's kind of a policy thing, but she still.
I think that would. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So flip-flop so much. You mentioned.
I will say, I think that the abortion conversation is a little retarded. The president cannot do shit on it.
Okay. Well, here's something I'd be concerned about for Trump, for example. There's this law that we have called the Comstock Act. Jesus. The way it's written arguably could be interpreted to not allow the sending of any drugs or materials to be shipped to doctors or patients for the use of abortions. So in theory, President Trump could direct his DOJ, or even if Trump himself didn't do it, his DOJ could just enforce the Comstock Act to an extent where doctors couldn't get materials for abortions and patients couldn't get the pills for abortions delivered to them. Also, I think Trump himself hasn't said it, but Project 2025, whether you want to believe that or not.
The project that Trump has explicitly denounced,
Has denounced, I'm aware. But that does also want to ban...
And that diametrically opposes many of his opinions that he's held.
It wants to direct the FDA to ban misoprostol or something. It's a chemical abortion pill that's used for 63% of abortions. On the Project 2025 thing, I guess are we able to agree that people in Trump's former campaign wrote it, right? We agree with that much. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people tied to the former Trump campaign.
Yeah, I think it's fine to say Trump's friends. That's what I say all the time.
Sure.
And then okay, we don't know if they're friends or not, but they're associated with Trump. We get a bit.
Some of them are friends. Some of them hang out.
So they're associated with Trump. Or associated with Project 2025, but he has not explicitly promoted it.
He has done the opposite.
Sure.
Explicitly.
He's done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and then we also, we also have,
but we don't know his state of mind.
The head of Project 2025. I think Russell Vaught or whatever. I think we have him leaked audio saying, Trump's making a political consideration, but I think Trump is on board. And then also, I think we should probably be concerned about Project 2025's influence. Oh, wait. Firstly, we should be able to agree that the Republican Party broadly has worked with the Heritage Foundation closely for a while now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also, I think a big concern. Do you guys know who Date Right Stuff is? The guy who makes those dumbass TikToks
Yeah.
No, I don't have to.
No, you don't know? Or he's eating food and he's he'll say, Isaac, what's an example of something he'll say? He'll be like, liberals ask what radicalized me. It's the fact that a $5 footlong now costs $13.
Yeah. Or,
you guys know who this guy is?
Or liberals say, my body, my
I love
choice.
that it's only the libs that know this motherfucker. I love that it's only the libs that know this motherfucker.
But this
he's pretty big.
Okay. was actually like he's an A involved in Proctor 2025, and B was Trump's,
actually
he was he wrote the damn thing. He wrote some of it, and he was also Trump's former like personnel staffer. And I think he probably will be again. So like a big issue is that the people in charge of staffing Trump's team are probably people who have read Project 2025 or support various parts of it. So I think regardless of whether Trump himself is in favor of it, it's not super relevant because there's plenty of people in his campaign or in like his cabinet and his personnel staff that will be in support of it. So I think there's concerns that certain parts of it will be I don't want to say all of it will be enacted, obviously, but certain parts of it will be listened to.
This is bad timing, panel. Can I interrupt with something kind of side note-ish? It'll take like 30 seconds.
Sure.
I have a redeem for introducing all of you guys to my chat because they don't know you motherfuckers.
Okay.
So if everybody would like to do a quick 5-second introduction.
Oh, do we ever do that?
No, we just went in raw.
Yeah.
We don't need to. Okay.
I don't know. Just everybody do a quick intro for my chat because they're gonna start being autistic at me if you don't. Nonfon, go.
Okay, I don't know. You want me to start? Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'm Nonfon. You can find me on YouTube at Nonfon or Twitch at Nonfon420 or like Kick and Rumble and all that shit too, I guess. I'm a mostly political streamer. About 50% of my stream is just reading dense, boring shit, and then the other 50% is reacting to Piers Morgan, so I can get free YouTube reaction views. I am I don't unironically describe myself as a partisan hack, but I am.
Okay, so chat, he's retarded and he's a partisan hack. North, what do you got for us?
Sorry. Yes. Hi. I am North. I am a conservative streamer. I've also consider myself. I'm trying to get into the YouTube thing. I've uploaded 0 videos, but you can still subscribe to me. YouTube channel is That Guy North. Twitch channel is twitch.tv/ThatGuyIsNorth. I'm not, even though I'm a conservative, I'm not a Trumper, not a MAGA. I'm officially abstaining from this election. Just because there's just no one that I agree with that I'm going to vote for. So yeah, that's just me. Hello, hi. You can catch me.
All right, valid and base. That's North. He looks like an incel.
Yeah, I do.
Isaac.
You can find him on 4chan. I'm Isaac. I produce a lot of more YouTube content more than Twitch. I try to make short videos on like what's going on in the election. I've been a little bad about it recently. I was very liberal. I've been coming slightly more to the middle position. I had a 3-hour conversation with Nonfon about why he should support RFK, and then my opinion on RFK now is he was just a traitor to the ideas that he was upstanding, and I hate him. But yeah.
Hold on. Pop link in chat. Hold on. I don't even know where your chat. I don't even know what your stream is.
No, pop it in the in
chat.
Here.
Hold on.
I'll send it to them. They tried to look you up and couldn't find you.
Yeah, I know. I'm so irrelevant that you can't even like find me on the regular search bar. I'm like 5 pages down.
You gotta scroll, my boy. You gotta get that scroll wheel right. Don't worry, I'm with you.
Yeah. I got no video. I'm gonna upload my YouTube channel or not. Link my YouTube channel as well, even though there's no videos on there. I'm gonna make a video on this.
This will be the first.
Yeah, this will be the first.
We're taking your YouTube virginity. Nice to know.
Well, first on this channel.
Of course. And there's going to be the other 20 gaming channels that you were when you were a kid. Of course, everyone has those.
Yeah, no one will ever know of my League of Legends.
Hey, what lane? What lane we talking?
Mid, top, primarily mid.
Okay, I've been jungling with a Mamu recently. That's kind of been my main.
A Mumu jungle. Interesting.
It is nice. It's not. Anyway, we're off topic.
Yeah, we're a bit off topic. Yeah, we can go do a.
We've gone off topic so many times. Okay, I should have gotten a moderator to keep us on topic.
I've convinced I've not won people in Nonfon, and it was a fun time. It was the first time playing League.
Oh.
I did a bro versus bro with him.
You guys are making both of you look like more of incels in my mind.
All right, how about this?
I hate women.
I don't know if you guys are familiar. Yeah. On the 13th, me and Nonfon are going to be doing a
free will debate.
Free will debate. But what's the specific? Something death match or something like debate death match.
One of those in the bosses server. Yep.
Is there still trivia questions in those?
I think for the most part, no. People stop
really
the trivia thing because people didn't like it.
So yeah, it's going to be on free will. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys should check me out there.
I assume you're free will and Nonfon is against it.
Yeah, I'm free will and he's against it.
So Nonfon is the debate
retarded. This should be a given.
Is the debate already decided then, Nonfon? If there's no free will, like you already everything you're gonna say is already happened.
Yep. I don't have any control what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Okay. Harris is flip-flop so much, okay? I wrote the points down so we can get
we're back
to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you said she flip-flopped on what? BLM? BLM and what? Fracking?
She flip-flopped on BLM. She's flip-flopped on fracking. She has relatively flip-flopped on migration. She now supports the current bill, which is, or not bill, but like the action that Biden took, which is against what both of them ran on.
Yeah.
And what both of them have been saying for the last 3 years.
That's probably not even legal.
I feel like, do you see it as like, I feel like it could be like seen as flip-flopping, but I feel like it's more of like learning like what is politically feasible. Like with fracking,
moderating.
It was obvious that like fracking was never going to be an option. Like running on an anti-fracking campaign is going to lose you so many different states. Like Pennsylvania would never be an option if you were running on an anti-fracking campaign. It's just not politically feasible to have that policy position. So like it could be seen as flip-flopping, but it's like game theory.
The reason that I find it to be concerning is that I don't know what she's actually going to go for in terms of policy when she gets into office. Because many of these issues, she's gone, I don't know if this is actually true for fracking, but I'll just use it because we're talking about it.
It was the tie-breaking vote, yeah.
No, but she's gone, I don't like fracking, to I like fracking, to I don't like fracking, to I like fracking. And it's not the flip-flop once, it's the back and forth that's concerning, because I don't know what she's going to think in a year. Right?
What's that thought experiment where it's like you have the cat in the box and the poison?
The Schrodinger's
cat. It's
you don't know until you observe it.
Schrodinger's politician. We don't know like
the decision
what
until it
happens.
Policies
are going to be until after she's elected. Well, if she wins, that is.
I mean, she does have her issue page up by now. I guess. First of all, what was the flip-flopping in BLM? Because I don't actually know.
Well, she was doing the whole thing where she was like. Funding bail or like helping I think she was collecting donations to send to people's bails
to the bail fund
who were arrested during BLM shit, and then literally during the debate today she was like, nope, I don't support BLM. Like
I think she was saying she didn't support defund the police. I don't think it was BLM.
I don't think BLM was ever mentioned.
Which those aren't contrary positions.
Trump today said that, oh well, you supported BLM and now you don't. And she didn't even like argue it. That's my thing, is that she seemingly, what I got from the debate today and their little conversation, which I think was like maybe 5 minutes from the debate today, was that she was back on the BLM is stupid. Maybe we need a little bit of reform, but BLM stupid. And that's also what her action has been, and what her conversation has been since she got into office. Is that I don't care.
I don't know if I would consider that flip-flopping. I would need like an actual. So I know she posted the link to the bail fund back in 2020, and now she's just not talking about it. It seems, but
I feel like it's not as a public issue as it was around then.
Talking about it.
Well, it was brought up today, and she was not pro it.
Well,
like she wasn't.
You just said she didn't respond, which
that's not an anti or pro.
No, Trump said that she was against it. She didn't argue that point.
Well, true, but if she had to point out every time Trump had a view on her that was wrong, there would have never been a debate. Like, he called her a Marxist in the first 5 minutes.
Talk about it. When was the last time
she also didn't deny.
Well, that's the point. How is she changed if she hasn't been talking about it? That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
what I'm saying is that
what do you point to show a flip?
She is in office. She is in office. She could push for this shit. She doesn't. That, to me, shows a flip-flop.
What would she
also the fact that she doesn't defend BLM anymore. She doesn't defend defunding the police anymore.
I don't think that she was pretty heavy on defund the police initially, but I feel like the thing is like, what would she be pushing? What would show you that she still is supportive of BLM?
Literally saying anything about it. She hasn't.
Like what though? Yeah, it wasn't even a topic question. He brought it up. Like it wasn't even a part of the conversation.
She has been in office for 4 years. She can speak. She has a fucking mouth.
I'm saying what happened though?
She's vice president. She's like, I'm going to do a press conference today. I'm going to talk about BLM, even though nobody's talking about BLM anymore.
No. Let's take the motherfucker who was like had a pot of boiling water and got shot by police. Has she said anything?
I'm not sure.
As far as I have seen, she has not. If I am wrong, point it out. But as far as I have seen, she has said fucking nothing. The White House, I believe, put out a statement, but like she has said nothing. She has the ability to do so.
But even if she didn't talk about it, I don't know if I consider that full-on flip-flopping. I feel like the fracking thing is way more flip-flopping.
She went from caring about it enough to bail people out of prison to not talking about it ever. Is that not a flip-flop?
Oh, she called their family.
Kamala Harris called
some young
I'm wrong on that one. All right, I haven't seen it. Okay.
Okay. New topic.
She still has done no policy. But
wait. Okay, so the fracking thing. How many times has she flip-flopped in fracking? You said I'm only aware in 2019 she said she wanted to ban fracking, and then she recently moderated because she's trying to win an election.
Well, no, she recently said that she has always been in support of fracking.
No, I think she even specifically pointed out that she changed in 2020 whenever she talked about it, and she's stuck by it by Simpson.
Today she did not.
All right, someone joined my chat and is saying that Kamala should be in jail because she's lying, apparently. I don't know whose chat she's from.
Let me tell you, let me introduce you to Donald Trump.
I know, yeah.
One of yours has like migrated into my chat.
I don't know which one of ours that would be. All right, my chat generally doesn't like
Trump. Let's go lie for
lie. Nonfon doesn't either.
They had the moderators that called Trump out 3 different times.
That she said she was Indian and now is black. That's what
this is definitely
I don't want to touch
the dumbest lie ever. Yeah. Wait till you hear about what Trump lied to NARA multiple times when they requested classified documents back, and then he told his lawyers to he gave some of them back and lied and said he gave all of them back, and then told his lawyers to hide the rest of them and fucking
prosecuted harder with his documents case.
Wasn't it literally like he was requested to hand them over, and he complied with like every investigation they looked into? He sat down and talked to him and handed them over.
Wait. The problem with it was that they had been requested when he left office. That's kind of like the hang up is that when he leaves office, it is requested that he gives them back, and he didn't, and then they got requested again, and he gave them back,
and he complied. Yeah, there has to be some malice though for the penalty.
The big like Trump is being charged for like knowingly doing it.
Stop. When it comes to like the shit that Trump is charged with in regards to
it's the malice. It's the moving it around in different boxes and telling people to hide it around Mar-a-Lago.
And some of it is obstruction of justice too, because
the equivalent that Biden would be charged with was mishandling classified documents. That does not require malice. You simply mishandle them and you have committed a crime.
If they were
I'm not saying that he should fucking face life, but I wouldn't be mad if he got prosecuted.
My understanding of the law is that it only is if you knowingly do it. And then also I think Trump is also being charged with like obstruction of justice because he lied multiple times saying like he gave all the documents back and like
what was your opinion on
I think
and also it wasn't
documents case is the strongest against Trump.
So. It wasn't the DOJ or it wasn't someone else. It was Biden's personal attorneys who found these classified documents and then reported that they had them.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like they requested him and he didn't comply. It was like they randomly found these after that.
Yeah, Mike Pence did the same thing.
Yeah, that's the funny part is like this is like par for the course. Like obviously if you have these not par for the course, but people are gonna forget some things. I feel like that you should have malice as a part of it. You shouldn't be prosecuting these people for that type of stuff.
I'm for prosecuting every goddamn.
This guy's a riot in my chat.
I did see you talking a lot with the muted.
Yes. When I'm muted, I'm like, let's see what this guy is saying. Lock her up. He was not lying. They were rigged against him. I think he meant were, but he said where.
We have him on tape.
Yeah.
Well, they can investigate her. Wait. We're in solidarity with him. All right, like 70%, like 30% of America is illiterate at an 8th grade level. We get him. It's okay.
Yeah,
we understand. Blame the government.
But also, I feel like the FBI and the DOJ probably came to that decision to not prosecute him. I don't feel like it was ever like we're not going to from the start. It was probably they did an assessment and they were like, well, since there was no malice, there was no like hiding of it. He complied.
His prosecutor looked into it and said, hey, because Biden cooperated.
He would appear like an old fucking man and nobody would convicted.
That was part of it. That was the special counsel said he would appear sympathetic as a well-meaning old man to a jury, and therefore he didn't think he could get a conviction. But part of it's also that Biden cooperated. Biden did everything to cooperate. Like his attorney literally handed them over. It was the same thing with Mike Pence. Mike Pence, after the Trump documents case, told his lawyers to go through his shit and turn over any classified documents out of an abundance of caution. And it turns out he did have classified documents, and he gave them back, and he wasn't charged.
Yeah, it's my thing is I also just am very pro that every single one of our elected officials should be held at an extremely high scrutiny. So that's why I say I don't care if Biden gets charged. Fucking do it. Go for it.
But I feel like...
But Trump actually had the fucking malice and shit like that.
Yeah, and also, at the end of that investigation, according to her, it was Biden nor his staff broke the law in handling classified materials because they went about it all about the correct way you're supposed to.
Yeah. Well, that's also not true.
Okay,
in a fucking garage is not how you handle them.
I want to go down one line of argument here. I like arguing policy more than his line of argument, okay? Gorps, how do you feel about the presidential immunity decision?
Oh, God. He's a libertarian. I can give you the answer.
Well, he just said he wants all presidents to be held to a high standard.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am relatively mixed. And I've talked about this on my stream so many fucking times because everybody asked me. But I'm relatively mixed. I'm not necessarily opposed to it. But if you're a fucking legal nerd like I am, you recognize that this ruling requires subsequent rulings. It requires other rulings to determine what the actual extent of the presidential what you're doing as president is. All of that. I would like to wait until those rulings come out to actually give an opinion. Because I think those rulings could come out in a way where I would say, yeah, this is based, this is fine. I don't think there should be a blanket immunity over anything you do while you are president.
Okay, so...
What's your opinion on them delaying it till after the election?
It's not necessarily about the election. That's just how courts work. I don't know. I work in the courts. I understand when shit gets fucking delayed. I'm not going to say it's purposefully until after the election, but it's annoying. I will say I would like it to be before that, but I also get annoyed every fucking day at my job when the courts call me and say, nope, your hearing's delayed. So
if they push it back after the election and then he gets elected as president, are they going to push it back all the way till after?
I expect if he gets if he wins in November, that hearing just effectively won't happen. Which, again, I say is fucking annoying. There's another part of it that is, this is the court system. I feel like most Americans don't actively work in the court system every day. I do. Shit gets pushed back. Shit happens. Our courts are extremely fucking overwhelmed at every level.
The judge did come out, though, and say that the reason for the pushback was because he wanted it after the election.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
He said, and I quote, never mind.
Okay, we'll finish your quote, and then I want to go down.
Give me the whole quote, because I could also quote the fucking special prosecutor saying Biden's old, so we can't prosecute.
Yeah, he said it would come off.
Their verdict must be respected and addressed in a manner that is not diluted by the enormity of the upcoming presidential election. He said, sentencing it to exactly 3 weeks after the November 5th election.
Is this the case that the immunity was brought up in, or is this the other fucking sentencing?
That was is it the...
This is the hush money.
For the... Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a sentencing that's delayed. Is already...
Is it
34 counts.
Is it a jury? I actually don't know this. Is this a jury sentencing? Or
this was the jury one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Your jury convicted him on all 34 counts.
It makes sense. Like the thing is, you can't... I think the judge is doing his best, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't.
You can't get an unbiased jury in this situation. They're trying to get as unbiased as you can. I would probably, if I was the judge, I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not saying it's a bad decision. Yeah,
it's annoying, yes, just because if Trump wins, it's fucking nothing.
We're in a very weird circumstance if Trump wins. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's understandable as to why that happens.
Okay. Do we think that Jeffrey Clark engaged in some criminal conspiracy to defraud the United States?
Jeffrey Clark?
Okay, Jeffrey Clark was the person who Trump wanted to instate as acting attorney general in order to send a letter to state officials saying that the DOJ had found evidence of massive election fraud in order to get them to not certify their election. Okay, these were claims that Jeffrey Clark, I believe, knew was false, and Trump also knew was false. But
repeat the question.
What's the evidence to say he knowingly knew it was false?
Who, Jeffrey Clark? I should have.
That's the question. That's always going to be the question in a jury is like, do you think that he was doing this in good faith? It's the same as the Eastman case.
We can debate about whether it's criminal or not, but like until it actually goes to court and it's like convicted, then.
Well, the issue is Jeffrey Clark cannot be criminally prosecuted now because of the immunity decision, even though he is he's not the president. Obviously, he's just part of the executive branch. Because his actions took place within the context of the president's conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority, it is unreviewable by the court. So Jeffrey Clark is someone I would say pretty blatantly engaged in a conspiracy to defraud the United States, yet he cannot be criminally prosecuted.
That's the thing. We're waiting on the.
Well, he was removed as a co-defendant.
That's what it is right now.
He was already.
We're rating on the future fucking rulings for this SCOTUS ruling.
But when will that be, though?
Already ruled that any conversation Trump has with this DOJ is within the conclusive and preclusive authority of the president and cannot be reviewed. That's
like they specifically went out of way to talk about this conversation.
That's why Jeffrey Clark was dropped as a co-defendant.
Because one of them went on some schizo rambles.
Yeah.
So okay, if I'm gonna get like the basic facts, I guess.
He was like, it was about the facts of the argument that conversation can never be brought up. It's unreviewable by the court.
Was it that Trump told him to go send this letter? Is that the basic facts?
Yeah, he basically just found someone who would.
He wanted Bill Barr to send the letter. Bill Barr wouldn't do it, so Bill Barr quit. And then Rosen became acting attorney general. Rosen wouldn't send it, so he wanted to fire Rosen and appoint Jeffrey Clark. And it was only when half of the DOJ threatened to quit. I think like literally every deputy director said that they would quit if Jeffrey Clark sent the letter, that Trump said, fine, I won't make him send a letter.
Wait, so he didn't send the letter?
Well, only because people threatened to resign, but yeah.
Right, he didn't send the letter. There's no actus reus.
But I think that's still.
What's the fucking crime?
You don't need to act to do a crime. Plotting to do something is still a crime. Plotting to commit murder is still conspiracy.
Conspiracy to defraud the United States.
Conspiracy, yeah.
Conspiracy to defraud the United States. I'm pretty sure it's the exact charge. I don't think you need to actually do it.
For conspiracy, you don't. Yeah.
Like if it was successful, it wouldn't be conspiracy to defraud the government. They would have defrauded the government, and Trump would still be president.
Yeah, I think hold up, 1 sec. Let me respond to my chat real quick.
Especially because they would have had a lot more validity of their claims if they had the DOJ signing on to it.
Yeah, that's why Clark literally was asking for the motion.
Assuming you guys are correct in the facts, which again, I don't know that much about this case, but assuming you guys are correct, I think that's a fine conspiracy charge. Nothing more than conspiracy, but conspiracy. I'm fine with that.
Do we know what prison sentencing that would hold?
For the conspiracy?
Yeah.
What would the time be?
Like assuming that there was no immunity, they went to court and then they prosecuted him. What would be the expected sentencing?
I don't know, because it's got to be a wide range. Because defrauding the government could go from anything from like cheapening out on to anything to trying to take over the country, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like the range has to be very, very broad.
I feel like conspiracy is normally 10 years. I'll look it up, but
true, but there has to be a different conspiracy between me conspiring to.
No, conspiracy to defraud. Wait. The actual USC 286 conspiracy to defraud the government. Fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. So no more than 10 years in prison. Okay. Assuming that he doesn't commit more crimes while he's in.
I was gonna say, I feel like there would be 20 more charges. I feel like there would also be 3 different conspiracy to defrauds, because you have the signing of it, the sending it, the acting as the attorney general in that way. Those would all be 3 different actions that I think you could all charge as conspiracy, I would assume, right?
Maybe, because I don't know the situation very well. So
I was saying if you knowingly lied on a paper, that would be, and the intent of that was to defraud, that would be one charge. You sending that paper as an elected official to knowingly defraud. I feel like that would be a separate charge, right? The same way the 34 documents was for every single document.
I think sending it to a separate official is easily the conspiracy. If we're talking like a realistic scenario, like he's got an attorney, even if it's a public defender, the just signing of it is gonna get fucking waived. Like, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be charged with it. I'm saying he wouldn't be convicted with it.
Wait, why wouldn't he wouldn't be convicted? Because his what? His lawyer would get it waived.
Yes, his lawyers would get it waived. His lawyers would probably say, "Fucking drop this shit. We'll take this one charge. Anything else that you could possibly tack on,
make a deal." Yeah,
a deal. Okay.
Yeah, most fucking cases are ended in
deals. Yeah,
this would probably get ended with one count of conspiracy, from what you guys have told me. Again, I don't know this one super well, so
I'm trying to find if I don't think Clark himself ever made a statement that anyone testifies to that he knew specifically that the letter is filled with lies, but other DOJ officials did tell him that the letter was filled with lies, and it was total bullshit.
That's the problem with Eastman right now, isn't it? That everyone's like trying to figure out like if Eastman's advice was in good faith and he actually thought that it was law abiding, then it's perfectly justifiable. There's no crime. But if he was doing it in bad faith and it wasn't legally backed, then Eastman did commit like conspiracy. Isn't that? I feel like it's the same here, right? Well, now it won't be because you can't charge it, but.
Yeah, it depends on his personal knowledge, basically.
Yeah, because that's what people are debating about Eastman right now.
That's also the hard part about like conspiracy charges, kind of in a similar way. If you guys know about like defamation, where you have to prove this person's fucking mindset.
Yeah, you have to prove the bad faith.
Actual malice. Yep.
So that's why I say they'd probably get one count max, but that's still 10 years, up to 10 years.
Do we think Tim Pool should be charged with treason?
Wait. I'm trying to go down the line of argument, okay? So this would be like a case where I think like a clear like check has kind of been lost on the executive branch's power, at the very least. The fact that Jeffrey Clark can't even be prosecuted now. I think there are other issues like, Gorps, you know about like the Schedule F appointments that Trump tried to do?
Remind me.
Okay, so the Schedule F appointments was something Trump tried to do near the end of his first term, which basically reclassified a lot of civil servants as like political appointees, which would make them easier for Trump to hire and replace easily. So he could, in theory, install a lot of loyalists into the yeah. So I think that like that's another case where like clearly the power, like the executive, is it has expanded. Trump also tried J6. That's little wacky stuff happened there. So.
I think the biggest thing on January 6th was that he didn't call for it to stop or call in National Guard.
Yeah, he watched them for 2 hours
for it to
before.
Happen. He let it happen. He didn't call for it to happen.
Well, he called people to protest there starting December 19th, which, by the way, he only did that 3 days after he met Jim Troopers and Keenan
Chesbro,
who both told him that January 6th was the real deadline for having the election overturned. And then later,
he also
Jim Troopers
called for them to be peaceful.
We'll get there. And then Keenan Chesbro and Jim Troopers texted each other saying, wow, based on 3 days ago, I think we have a unique understanding of this. And they sent an article to Trump calling people to protest the certification to vote. Okay, he did say do that peacefully and patriotically. Okay. That was 20 minutes into an hour-long speech where, like, everything else he was saying, fight like hell. He knew that people there had weapons.
That is politically protected speech, by the way. Like, constitutionally protected. It's been ruled on.
That can be politically protected speech, but I would say he absolutely riled up. Whether it meets a legal definition of incitement, I would say he almost certainly wanted those people to. Well, he wanted them to protest the certification.
Can you prove that in court, though?
If we're talking about charges against him, I can say that he's morally fucking corrupt. That's one of the big reasons that I will not vote for him, even if I liked his policies.
Well, sure. So the line of argument I'm trying to go down right now is that Trump.
Line there.
So sure, right now I don't care about criminal liability. What the thing I'm trying to prove is it seems like all of Trump's actions kind of make it seem like he wants to limit democracy to some extent, at least, and greatly expand the authority of the executive branch. So, as independent voters who presumably like this whole democracy thing, should you not be worried that to some extent Trump poses a threat to our current republic that could make it much harder for your ideas to ever be implemented in the future if the power of the executive expands greatly or whatever.
I think Trump poses a threat. However, the fucking checks and balances did their fucking shit. All right, guess what? He's not president right now. Also, I'm not voting for him anyways. But you know, the checks and balances worked as they do. We saw the strength of our system on January 6th.
Sure. Well, I understand.
I'm a Republican, right? Like I'm a card. Okay, I don't actually have a card, but I like to call myself a card-carrying Republican.
Sure.
You know,
not old.
I'm not voting for Trump because of like what he's done. With like January 6th and his foreign policies and all that. Like it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I understand you're not voting for him. My point was that
bitch on here, so we
can. But just because I'm not voting for him doesn't mean that I should vote for Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris' domestic policies I just completely disagree.
Sure. The point I'm just trying to make is I believe Trump poses a threat that could make it harder for you to vote for other people in the future. He would essentially limit checks and balances to it. That would greatly expand the executive branch's authority. That'd be the concern I have.
Yeah, who are you voting for, or are you voting?
Just so I can make it officially abstain.
Officially abstain? Okay. Yeah, so Nonfon, I assume you brought North here for the same reason you brought me here for? That was to make us into partisan hacks. You can't argue Trump versus Kamala. I know. But you can't argue Trump versus Kamala when neither of us are fucking voting for Trump.
Yeah, it's not a clear line of attack.
Where he deserves defending.
Wait, I'm not arguing Trump versus Kamala.
There's some retarded
right
arguments. But
well, earlier you did say, your arguments were reliant on you were judging Kamala retroactively, like based upon Trump. Like I don't remember the exact quote, but you said that like they were going.
You also said
you were looking at Kamala in perspective, like to the with Trump. I don't remember the exact term you said, but you did say that. Yeah, you were like, whenever I'm looking at Kamala's like decisions, you're looking at them like comparatively to Trump. That was the way you used it.
Okay.
And you just said, but
that was in the very
Trump
beginning.
Is a threat. Well, none of us are voting for Trump, so.
Yeah. Well, I understand, but my line
but his argument's going to be
Kamala.
Yeah, his argument's going to be
he's trying to radicalize us. That's what he's trying to do.
You want
my line of argument with that.
People are talking.
My line of argument with that is that if you believe that Trump does pose a threat, it might be worth it to bite the bullet and bite for Kamala, because in the future you would preserve the opportunity to vote for candidates that are more favorable to you in the future. That was the line of argumentation there.
What state do I live in?
Yeah.
I just moved to Ohio. So
is Ohio a purple state?
It's debatable.
Really.
I consider it a purple state. It can go either way.
Non-fonts is not really non-fon. What do you think it is? Red, blue?
I'm pretty sure the Republicans pretty much have it secured.
Well, yeah, they have it secured now, but like if they didn't
in the future,
any special focus on it. But
okay, so non-fon, you're talking to two people who live in what you would at least consider not swing states, and you're trying to argue Trump greater evil to get us to vote for Kamala. I really want to see what you have for like actual arguments to make us support Trump or support Kamala.
The line of argumentation. Well, we had that whole conversation. I just wanted to go down this one line. The line of argumentation I was making wasn't that like Kamala is preferable to Trump here. The line of argumentation I was making is that Trump poses a unique threat to democracy that I believe could make it worth it to support Kamala, because I don't believe Kamala does pose the same threat to democracy. And I think you guys would.
Both of our states are decided. What does that matter? You're trying to convince
I understand
us if both of our states are
the viability argument. Yeah, the fear argument doesn't really work. Now, your fear mongering isn't going to work, you liberal.
Okay, if you consider the electoral college makes your votes worthless, then sure, whatever. I can concede there. Based on the electoral.
Do you have any arguments that you think would
TikTok
make us
edit,
vote
boom,
for Kamala? Do you have arguments that would make you think would make us vote for Kamala over?
Well, we ran through
not voting or voting
as a libertarian. I don't know.
We ran through those
either one.
Earlier,
you can argue his. Well, you argued libertarian.
How would you radicalize me to be like the Republican that votes for Kamala, like those other guys that they put on me?
Or as my chat calls you or Democrats, I'm not quite sure. Lesser evil genocide babies.
Oh my God. Okay. We ran through these all earlier. I was explaining why I think Kamala's policies are good. The YIMBYism and the chips, and I think the two things we ran through of policies of Kamala's I support were the like Chips and Science Act and the Inflation Reduction Act, like that stuff that invested in American manufacturing, and the other thing, the YIMBYism. Those were two policies that we discussed earlier, right? We were running down that line of argumentation before.
Yeah, but again, one of the most consistent things that I've talked about is that all that is just increasing the spending of money. Like again, where are you going to be raising the new money to be spending the money? For every dollar you spend, you're going to raise a dollar, or you're going to increase debt. But that debt has to be paid eventually. So, how's it going to work?
I believe the trade-offs of increasing the deficit can be worth it. So I would argue these are cases where the trade-off of increasing the deficit is worth it. It's probably worth it to increase the deficit by $8 billion to onshore some chip manufacturing here. It's probably worth it to increase the deficit by how many ever million to reduce child poverty by 40%. Those are probably cases where it's worth it to increase the deficit. And then secondly, I think you guys probably think the deficit is a bigger issue than I do. Like,
no,
if my choices
we both
are
already said it doesn't matter very much to us.
Well, yeah, but
like it kind of matters on the on the
optics
optics scale, but it doesn't really matter all that much. We
went down the whole patent rabbit hole, but I said earlier, like when it came to like tariffs versus subsidies, like if my choices are between increasing the deficit or decreasing consumer surplus, I'm probably just going to choose to increase the deficit because that's a bigger deal to me than the deadweight loss not a big deal to me compared to deadweight loss from tariffs.
What do you see what do you see the deficit as? Where's that money?
What do I see it as?
Where does that money?
Well, the government sells bonds. The government sells bonds to private citizens. It sells bonds to the Fed. It sells bonds to China, right?
Yeah. But what happens when, actually, more specifically, what doesn't really happen when we're at a deficit? This is my biggest thing.
What doesn't happen?
What doesn't really happen? There's one big thing that doesn't really happen. No, inflation? What doesn't happen is fucking Americans having money in their pockets. More money in their pockets that doesn't need to be taken out of their goddamn paychecks. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. My thing, the only reason that I say reduce the deficit is because that would inevitably also end up long-term reducing the taxation. And I say, reduce that shit. Put more fucking dollars in American pockets by not taking it out of the American pockets.
Well, but government deficits are financed by a private sector surplus.
Yes, that's what they're financed by. When you reduce the deficit,
wait, I understand. So you do it in long term.
You create a situation where the taxes can be lowered.
Who are you?
You need to learn how to mute, North.
Yeah, did that actually go through? Holy shit. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, it's my thing is entirely about keeping money in American fucking like people's pockets without having to wait till the next April to get that. People are paycheck to paycheck.
I'm gonna argue. How many people do you think are paycheck?
Waiting until April doesn't help them.
Of course.
I would argue, my argument is just going to be there's positive trade-offs to a lot of these things. So even though we're taxing money, a lot of it is probably going to good things like schools and health and yeah.
Take me. I'm 22. I don't have kids. I work full time. All right. My fucking fiance is disabled. To get my fucking lefty points, I have to say that. All right. Take us. We could be in a very, actually nice apartment. But we're not. Simply because with the amount that is taken out of my paycheck every 2 weeks, we can't afford it. If that was even lowered by $10 a paycheck, I could actually make a difference in that situation.
So here, do they get disability benefits?
No.
Okay. Why don't they get disability benefits? Are they not? Did it not meet the qualifications?
Technically, no. They can't work because they can't hold down a job because they are periodically extremely sick, but it doesn't meet the technical requirements.
I mean, I mean, you still use roads, you still use sewage. There's a lot of public infrastructure that's probably funded by your taxes. I understand for you, maybe even for you personally, there's a negative trade-off there. But like in aggregate, like unless your income is above like $400,000 a year or something, usually people receive more in government transfers than they do paying taxes. Like the rich already pay a lot in taxes. Let me see if I can find. Yeah. So unless you're in the fourth quintile or top quintile of income,
this is how much I receive.
0. Well, you clearly received money in. Well, first of all, you should have received stimulus checks regardless, but that was obviously a COVID measure.
No. I was. To be fair, I was still dependent at that point.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So I should have because I was living alone, but that's a separate story.
Okay, so you still.
But if we look at 2024 today,
did you go to a public school?
Did I go to a public school? I paid tuition at a university.
But I mean,
my
from
public
like
school,
kindergarten
yes,
to.
But that's not even where I fucking live. It's not where I'm getting taxed right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like that was clearly a case where you benefited from government benefits, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't taken out of my income.
Well, yeah, but you're paying it back now.
I am not benefiting from the taxes. Aside from roads, you are correct on roads. Aside from that, what am I benefiting of the taxes that are being taken out of my
Well, you just meant you went to public school. You already benefited from government tax dollars, and now you're essentially paying that back.
Not from my paycheck. What is the benefit from my paycheck?
That seems like a dumb way to analyze it. You already received a lot of government benefits.
Please don't respond. I feel like you guys, you either forget or don't know. I live in the greater Seattle area. All right.
They got enough calls as it is.
I apologize.
The police ain't there, homie. We have fucking posts every goddamn day of I called the police 3 hours ago and they're still not here. So
what was it? You say great? Wasn't Seattle the one where it was the anarchists?
Chaz.
Chaz. I remember that. That was fucking insane.
Yeah, we had that. I went there to.
You went there? Oh boy.
Yeah.
You see it like a person like ODing on like the street.
Well, the community garden from Chaz is still there, and the people who died in Chaz, I believe there was 2 of them, they're still dead. So.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we have a community garden.
Oh well, I'm sure that the 2 dead people was worth the community garden.
Oh yeah, it's also I believe it's dying as well because nobody takes care of it.
I mean, I don't know what to argue for you personally, but like even this graph shows like even the top quintile of income, which I almost guarantee you're not in, unless you make a ton of fucking money at I sent it in the chat, like in the chat in the stream room.
Discord.
No, I'm retarded. I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up right now.
You're only 20. How are you a boomer? You're like 22. But like even the top quintile of income gets like a lot of money in federal transfers, $12,000 in federal transfer payments. Like,
all right.
Yeah, and these all go, by the way, to like finance things that indirectly benefit you. For example, like reducing poverty may not directly benefit you, but it probably indirectly benefits you because those people are now more productive and they contribute more to the tax base. They contribute more to GDP, which indirectly benefits you. It also probably reduces crime, which again indirectly benefits you. There's a lot of like
I don't care about
indirect benefits.
I like actually.
Here, let me ask a question. If you could, so what is the income tax right now? Like per paycheck, what is it? Do you know off top? I don't assume anyone know off the top of your head.
On what margin? Because there's margin.
I don't know the percentage. Right? I know how much.
Just give me a ballpark.
I also don't
give me a ballpark. Don't give out. Yeah, don't give out your income. Someone give me a random stat. That would work. That would be.
I think the top margin is like 35%. It's the top margin,
and
then for
what's the average?
What the federal government takes out of my paycheck every month is close to $600.
Okay, so let's say for $500, you could like make sure that people in your like community are like well fed, like there's some public infrastructure for them to live in. Like, do you feel like that's a good investment, or do you feel like they're not like deserving of your money? Or that's a really bad way to phrase it. I could have phrased it better. You know what I mean? I was like, you're taking money out of these poor people. So I'm saying, do you feel like, you know what I mean?
Let me say it in a different way. Let me say it in a different way, in the way that I see it. Let's say I had that $600, right, every month.
Yeah.
I would be in a much nicer living situation. And I would still do what I do today, which is I donate and I volunteer with nonprofit organizations as well as just separate from any of these organizations, I volunteer and I give out food and all of that shit, right?
Yeah.
I would be able to do all of that to a greater extent and also live in a better situation.
But the argument's going to be is that if you were going to that, you're going to be like the 1% that do actually use that. Everyone else is just going to use it for their own needs, right? Like, there's probably a good argument.
Give me a tax break for it then. Like, that's my thing is I can choose to go and do that. Guess what? I get fucking nothing. And I still have all of my money go to the fucking money wells of the federal government.
Do you think the government has some... Do you think the government has some, like, incentive or should, like, help people have some, like, basic needs met?
Yeah, but I think we do too much right now.
Okay.
For example, I don't think that we should have unemployment benefits go as broad or as long as they do right now. My fiance, when she had her fucking issues, right? She got onto unemployment. She was making more on unemployment than she got paid while she was working her job on a monthly basis. That, to me, is fucking insane.
True,
she should be getting less than she made at her job.
The argument's going to be, you're like, although you would help people with the money you're getting, most people wouldn't.
But what I'm saying is that I'm fine with these programs existing. It was during COVID, but what she had specifically was not the COVID benefits. Like the way our state did it, like kind of separated it out. She didn't have the COVID benefits. It was just
because under COVID we increased unemployment insurance quite a bit, but
yeah.
Okay, so two things.
My argument basically is that it's either don't fucking tax people that are helping, but also these people could be, so many people could be in such better situations if they weren't taxed this amount. That's my thing.
All right, you have to show us the cat.
Show us the cat? Okay.
Yeah.
Her name is Catler. Be warned. She likes to yell, and she has a Hitler stash.
Yeah.
What? But I will show her to you guys.
You haven't seen Gorse's cat?
I'm not. No. This is my first. I think this is my first time meeting him.
I don't know where mine is. It's in the sweater somewhere.
Wow.
Why would you name your cat Catler?
Well, her name is Minnie. Her name is Minnie. Stream named her Catler.
Oh, okay. So your stream is like radical, and then to like the normies, you say it's Minnie.
Yeah, I don't know if the mic is picking it up, but she is in fact yelling right now. So she's Catler. She likes to talk. It's a really bad convo. She is adorable.
It is picking it up, and it's very cute.
Yeah. Okay, goddamn.
Whenever I get home from work, she sprints to my office door and yells until I let her in. This is her favorite room in the house. So, anyways, continue.
I had 3 points and I forgot all but the stupidest one. You said Fia. Did you say girlfriend on disability benefits earlier? I feel like I heard the word girlfriend.
My fiance is not on disability.
Who did you say was on disability?
No one. I said she's disabled. She is unable to get disability benefits.
You said that that she was previously on unemployment, and you said that.
Yeah, she's on unemployment for a period of time.
Wait, who was this?
And then my fiance.
I thought you were. This was a dumb point. Don't all your stream titles say "gay for Gaza"?
I am bisexual. Are you homophobic?
I just wanted to clarify. No, I'm bisexual living in the background right now. I just wanted to clarify. Okay.
In fact, let me add to that. I am bisexual and trans. Are you extra homophobic and transphobic?
I have my bisexual lighting in the background. Okay.
No, it was interesting how you pointed out my flag. Why did he point out my flag when I first joined? Did any of y'all think that was weird? Why did Nonfon make it such a big issue about my flag?
I said that you were trying to. Your like woke argumentation was going for the kids.
Absorb his chat. That's what we're gonna do. We'll partition it 3 ways.
God damn it. Okay, there were 2.
So Nonfon is transphobic and homophobic.
That's what he called his community. Oh my god, we got a whole
and racist.
Manifesto time.
God damn. It's over for me. It's over.
I gotta
Well, to be fair, he does look like a school shooter. So
I think tomorrow I'm going to do a stream where I'm going to write a manifesto, and hopefully it won't take 6 hours.
What? A manifesto about what?
About me. That'll be my political manifesto to radicalize the youth.
Oh, okay.
You know, they have cultural Marxism. I'll create cultural conservatism.
Based.
Okay. I remembered my 2 other points. Okay. The first one was, Gorps, I'm just curious how you feel about either UBI or negative income tax.
Negative income tax, I'm going to give the non-answer of, I would have to look into it more before I give you a full opinion. UBI, I tend to oppose. I have seen scenarios where it has played out like semi-decently, but I would prefer other programs than UBI.
Really? Do you think like the current welfare system is better than UBI? That's basically what I was getting at. Do you think UBI would be preferable to our like current in-kind mean-tested benefits?
If we actually had an efficient system, yes.
Okay. All you need to know about NIT is that Milton Friedman said it's good. Okay, so that's how you know. That's how you know it's good. Okay. The other point is, you can think you would be better off if you don't pay taxes. That could be true. However, we do live in a society. It could be the case. You may not think it's the case, but it could be the case that total utility is increased in society because you pay taxes. There's other people who would be without like medical benefits or without fucking homes if they didn't receive the government benefits that are financed by your taxes. Do you think that's the case at all?
I think 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And having a little bit more in that paycheck can help alleviate that stress.
Yeah. I feel like that's a dumb claim. I feel like it's quite obvious, just intuitively, that 78% of Americans do not live paycheck to paycheck, but also the median...
It was a 2023 survey.
It was a survey, correct. Actual larger surveys by like either the Federal Reserve or actual studies show different things. So the median American net worth is $193,000.
Let's go for another one, which says 66%. Does that make you happier?
The median American household has $8,000 in transaction accounts. 54% of adults have cash savings that could pay for 3 months of expenses. So I would say at least 54% of Americans are not living paycheck to paycheck if they have.
Okay. Either way, let's make it at 25%. I'm sorry. That's 25% of Americans. That's over 50. No, that's over. I don't know how to do math. That's like 30 or 40 million people.
Sure. Well, my argument is going to be those people that are living paycheck to paycheck are also probably the people receiving the most in government benefits.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be paying.
Well, they're probably not paying. They're probably receiving.
I have a question. No, they're paying. That's the thing. That's what you're like missing here.
Okay.
Is that them not having that money paycheck to paycheck is forcing them to be in a situation where they can't save that. They don't get, for example, interest on it if they were to invest it. However, if they were just simply not taxed by the federal government, they would have that in hand. They could use it to either pay bills that they're missing or to invest if they are in a situation where that is viable. That's my argument, is that they should have it in hand.
You're against a federal income tax, right?
Yes.
What do you believe is the economic alternative to the federal income tax?
Considering I think that there should be massive fucking cuts in the amount of shit that our federal government gives out, including but not limited to the military, to make sure that the liberals know that they are included here. All right, the massive cuts
defund our military.
I'm actually in favor of military spending. I'm not saying defund the military.
I'm just saying that there's too much there, and our Pentagon doesn't even know where the fuck its money is going. Anyways, what I'm saying is that so many of these people are taxed to the point where they fucking get evicted, whilst simultaneously, they're gonna get it in a year. They're gonna get that money back in a year. That doesn't matter when you get evicted. And ultimately, if the government's gonna give you the fucking refund of damn near everything you paid, why are you getting taxed in the first place? I also think the federal government should take over the taxing, similar to the UK. Why the fuck are American citizens doing their own taxes? But
I agree with you on the last point. I can kind of understand your point that like the government taxes people, then gives them more money back in benefits later.
No, it doesn't give them the amount of money back. They should give it, if they're going to do the fucking current refund system we have, we should get it at 5%.
Well, wait,
5% gains for all of it.
You're talking about tax refunds, right? I'm talking about. I'm saying the bottom 2 quintiles receive more government benefits than they pay. Like,
I am talking about their refunds. Yes, I'm also saying great, they receive it. I don't care. They shouldn't be paying shit. They don't need to be.
How high is the standard deduction? I don't know why. To me, I almost never look at taxes and transfers separately. I've been trained to look at taxes and transfers together. There may be I guess temporal effects because you don't get the transfers at the exact same time that you're taxed away.
What I'm saying is that let's say I get my tax return in April, and let's say that I get taxed in May $100. If we are going to keep the current system of getting a tax refund, I should get that refund at 5%.
I don't necessarily disagree with you on the tax refund point. My point is just simply that like the bottom 2 quintiles of income in America are effectively not taxed. They're net receivers. They're not net payers.
No, I understand that, but that doesn't matter when you are paycheck to paycheck. When you are in a situation where it's like that $10 will make or break whether you can pay your bills. Okay? Let's say you're paying $10 into federal taxes. When you're in that situation, it doesn't matter if you're going to get a refund in April. What matters is if you have that $10 now.
But you're probably on some type of monthly benefits if your income is that low, right?
That doesn't matter. If you're still fucking $10 from rent, you're $10 from rent.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Wait, what the fuck? Why is my... Hold on. I'm sorry.
Incel doing incel things over there.
True. I just like my brain from everything I've read just trains me to look at taxes and transfers together. So it like I'm trained to think that like the bottom 2 quintiles of income in America just are effectively don't pay taxes. But
yeah,
I understand.
I guess I
understand.
You see it in
there's
numbers,
a temporal,
but you don't see it as like the actual
temporal
human
effect,
cost of it.
I guess.
Yeah, you don't see like the actual like physical effect of it.
But you would still say that there's probably some benefits there, right? Even if like because they're still receiving more in government benefits and they're taxed away. They're still receiving benefits from your tax dollars. It's just not as effectively spent as you would like it to be, I guess.
I'm not making the point that they're not receiving tax dollars. I'm making the point that they shouldn't even have their fucking wages taxed in the first place.
But you don't think you're not just making that for low income people. You don't think anyone's income should be taxed, right?
No, I'm making that for low income people. For example, corporations should be taxed.
Or okay, what point
people making over $150,000 a year should be taxed.
But anything under that's fine.
In our current system, yes, because I don't think we're going to get a flat tax rate ever.
What if I told you I don't think anyone's income should be taxed?
Based. Unfeasible.
Unironically. It is entirely feasible, okay? Personal consumption tax. Tax consumption, okay? Hell yeah.
I mean, I do live in Washington. I do support our lack of income tax and our reliance on sales tax and vice taxes.
I love tolls. Tolls are so good. I love tolls so much.
You don't have to take tolls. There's always non-toll roads, non-toll lanes. At least in Washington. I don't know about your guys' states.
I don't think we have that many tolls here, but
yeah, Washington has a lot of tolls. We have no income tax. We have a lot of tolls. But you get a good to-go pass, you get that discounted, or you just don't take the toll lanes. We've got toll bridges into Seattle. You can avoid by taking the other bridge into Seattle. I think the only toll you can't avoid is the fact that there's a toll one of the ways onto one of our islands, and you either have to pay the ferry or pay the toll.
You think Washington receives more in government benefits or pays more?
Probably receives more.
I have a chart in it somewhere.
That's just a guess, though. I don't know off the top of my head.
I know a lot of blue states pay more than they receive.
I think Kentucky, where I used to live,
Washington pay or receive more federal funding. Washington State receives more federal funding than it pays.
That's kind of funny.
We also are like the homeless hub. Like, if you talk to homeless people in Seattle, they'll be like, yeah, we took a bus here from fucking Idaho and Michigan. I met somebody who took a bus to Seattle from Michigan to be homeless in Seattle instead. Kind of wild.
Yeah.
I love how Isaac is just like doing his thing here. He's
deafened us.
He's just
world.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I'm trying to find my fucking chart.
Well, actually, I do know what he's doing. I was messaging him on Discord. He's in a Israel-Palestine debate with his chat.
Bro, that's my shit. Oh my god, let me in. God damn, this is what I've been streaming for 11 months straight. You guys are my not Israel-Palestine stream for the week. Just so you know.
Wow. Okay.
For the wow.
Oh, don't worry. That's all my stream is right now. I am just arguing with my chat for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 11 months, homie. Keep on the grind.
What's y'all's opinion on the gays for Hamas or gays for Palestine?
Based.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm agnostic. Like, it would be weird to have an opinion on it.
Okay, wait. Homie with the flag. Are you a gay? Are you a trans? Or are you just a flag holder?
Let's just
from a fellow gay and trans.
I'll DM you.
Okay.
He's a
okay.
Wait, can I DM you?
You can tell them about your dad, right?
I mean, I can do. I'm fine with doing that. I was raised by two fathers, so that does also help.
Damn, that's gay as hell.
Okay.
Yes, there was a really funny time where Nonfon was it Nonfon who was debating gay parents when I did it? Or was it you with Minar?
I don't.
Or was it Pinsa Blur? Okay, well, since there was an old political streamer named Blur, right, and he was debating about it, and I put my background in my webcam of me with my two fathers, while Minar was saying that a two-fathered household wouldn't lead to like good offspring. It was just really funny. It was a really good clip I have.
Hey, I just have to say, I got gunkles, as I call them. My gay uncles. I will say, one of them tried to induct me into a cult. So. All of your people must be bad.
Damn.
I think that's more against
Twitch. I am memeing, by the way, but it's more against uncles. You said.
Yeah, it's
well, that's sexist.
Everyone has like that uncle.
That's sexist or something.
Probably.
Do we like sexism here?
Yes. Sorry.
There's no women in here.
I hate women.
Crew, we are not being open right now, guys.
Yeah. Women.
We are not beating the
allowed
sexist allegations.
All right, good to know.
It's not just the fact that everyone in this call is a man. It's everyone in our chats is also like.
No, I have a woman. I have my fiance in my chat.
Girly Bear?
No, we've never met them. This is a mythical.
They're fake. They're fake.
Yeah, it's a government conspiracy.
Did she go to another school?
She did go to another school. To be fair. Oh my god.
How old are you? It's your fiance.
I'm 22.
22. Okay, I still got time.
Yeah, you're good. I met her when we started dating when I was 18. So.
Okay, maybe I don't have time. I'm 20.
Well, that's 4 years, so you have until you're 24. You better hurry up.
Also, well, we're not on topic at all. Gorf, what camera do you use?
Yeah, your camera is really good.
It's a Sony. It's like an actual mirrorless camera.
Yeah, I figured it was an actual like DSLR.
It's not a DSLR. It's a mirrorless. It's a Sony 6000, something like that. Hold on, let me look it up so I can get you an actual answer. It's a Sony A6000, I believe.
How much did you spend on it?
I got it used. I got it used, but I got it for really 500. I use it for like actual photography though. That's the reason I have it.
Oh, okay.
And it's got the added benefit of being a good stream camera. I have a Nikon D4600, I think.
Base headless chicken.
You can't use it as a webcam, but it's a camera that I want to get rid of.
He-Man, woman haters. Sorry, I'm reading out loud in my chat.
Yeah, that's us. That's us. All of us, woman haters.
Women haters, yeah. Women's rights.
Yeah. I have my camera partially for stream, partially for photography. That's why it's actually nice.
Okay, I'm just using my phone. I gotta get it.
I did that for a while, actually. I did do that for a good period of time.
I bought a $15 camera.
Yeah, we can
webcam. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
don't say camera. Don't insult corpse like that. You bought a webcam. You bought a webcam.
Yeah, the webcam. All right, so this is the webcam. This was built into my computer. So
it's not even
also my grandparents are both photographers, so I'm in the camera world pretty heavy. Part of the reason that I have a nice one is because I'm a
Mala just doubled the diameter. Okay, I'm not going to finish that.
All right, can I trust you guys to not say any slurs if I go to the bathroom?
Top 10. Let's start. All right, number 1.
We'll have I'll start a tier list.
Yeah. You have to be. One second.
He's saying them. He's saying them right now. He muted to say them. Anyway. Okay, what's up, everyone? Chat, it's me. I'm Nonfon 420. What's going on? We are not on topic at all. There's much less room for
you should follow me. Twitch.tv/thatguyisnorth. I only got 5 followers. I got 5 viewers too. Yeah, you should totally follow me.
We're not on topic at all.
Streams. You've seen my cooking stream. You said you were there.
I was there for some of it. Yeah.
Oh, I got to follow. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. and Arson. Mr. Anderson. That's what it is.
That's a crazy.
Yeah.
Mr. Arson.
Mr. Anderson. It has like the E's like a 3. Oh, I got another follow. That's cool. Tourist Travels. Thank you for the follow.
Sorry, I don't know how my chat. We're just talking about Israel Palestine, but that's all we're at.
Israel Palestine.
We're not on topic at all, but that's kind of a good thing. I've noticed there's much less room for heated disagreement when people aren't mad and they're like genuinely like reasonable people and not insane, wild, unhinged people.
I'm gonna plug my Discord as well because I run a debate Discord, so you should probably join that as well.
Send me an invite.
Is in my the link is in the it's linked to my Twitch account. Here, I'll go send you an invite right now. Here. Oh, that's Marcus Red. Invite people. Isaac Rhodes. Invite. Cool. It's sent. All right. Yeah, you should totally join my Discord.
You guys that you're gay.
Yeah. People think I'm gay.
Well,
apparently I have like a gay aura. I'm straight.
A lot of people think I'm gay too.
I think it's the incel aspect.
Yeah, I need to like get not incelish.
We all kind of like. Looks like the least incel out of all of us. So.
Yeah, it's true. I think I need to grow facial hair. That's what I need to do.
It's because I was
actually it probably will be
in high
like
school, and now I'm on Twitch, so I break the
mold.
I'm too much of a male to grow facial hair.
Yeah. Let's talk about your old hair that I did not know about for the longest time.
What, my old long hair?
Oh my god.
I looked even more
this
like
man used to have luscious. Yeah, this man used to have luscious hair that showed he never went out. Like he was genuinely the 4chan user at that time. He now looks like he looks like. Oh.
It's just like now, instead of like on 4chan, thanks, Corpse. I just oh, thanks for the sub head. I didn't mute. Thanks for the sub headless chicken. I appreciate it a lot.
He forgot to unmute. See, unlike you, I don't mute when my chat talks to me. That's why you should be based and come to my channel and talk to me.
I'll make everyone know that you are here.
Yeah. I will shamelessly plug my channel to like the ends of the earth.
Based.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't plugged today to you guys, so I feel like I need to twitch.tv/corpsinc. That's GORPSINC.
I'm subbing.
We stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. You can also go to my YouTube, same username.
Cool.
And we post shorts over
I
there.
appreciate
Maybe
a lot.
one day you'll get another long form video, but
I'm already following you.
I'm lazy. Based.
You know, last one was 5 months ago.
I've been posting shorts, all right? Short
you don't post shorts,
today.
your fucking editor posts shorts with AI
No, I
generated
post
shit,
them.
okay?
You have an editor?
He makes them, I post them.
Okay. Imagine.
So, you know,
okay, how long do y'all typically stream? All right, someone followed me.
Between like 5 to 8 hours.
5 to 8 hours a day? Dang.
Yeah, I don't do anything else right now, so
other than
edit my own video.
I have like a flying thing, so I can't do that.
On my Monday, Wednesday stream, I usually do 4 to 5 hours. On my Friday and Saturday streams, we're upwards of 8 hours. So
I've never spoken to him, but I know
90% of it's goddamn Israel Palestine. But
that's what's going on in
Israel Palestine stuff before October 7th.
I'd actually like briefly talked about it. What I was saying before October 7th was I'd been studying it because starting, I want to say like December 2022, I had like actually started digging into it and talking to my professors and shit and looking for sources. And then literally a week before October 7th happened, I had told Stream, hey, I'm ready to like actually talk about this topic. And then October 7th happened, and now I'm like, well, fuck.
Everything kind of just like blew up.
Yeah, because I don't like
chickens. I appreciate it.
Topics when I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this one I now actually do because I was ready to dig into it, and then Hamas decided to do their shit, and I was like, okay, well, let's do it. Let's fucking cover this shit.
I need to buy a gun, or I need to get my gun from Kentucky.
Based. Me too, but based. I live in Washington. They're gonna arrest me if I buy a gun because I'm gonna say some shit that's like even relatively nice about Hamas, and then they're gonna say terrorist.
Because I recently moved, like I'm still not considered like a state resident. Cat, I love Cat.
Why has he got a fucking washcloth on him?
Yeah, he's got like a sweater.
He has to.
He's got like
what's it called? The
we were talking about
the Palestinian Kaif.
Yes, actually, they were reading in there. They were reading the book that I have in there. They were, yeah, the Palestinian cat.
Well, all cats are Muslim, right?
It tries to smother me while I sleep. It knows. Well, it doesn't agree with my views.
True Hamas fashion, you know.
I don't know where my cat is. I have one somewhere. He's really fat. Allegedly.
Allegedly? I feel like he actually is.
Nah, he's not. People don't think he is, but he's actually perfectly normal. Everyone else is just insane.
That's what I say about my cat too, but I can also internally recognize that she's fat as fuck. It's called self-awareness.
Okay, Garp, 7 minutes straight. I think we might actually find, I think we might find some agreement on some of my more libertarian economic views, okay?
Right,
consumption taxes. Do you like consumption taxes?
Yes.
Based. Okay. Do you know what a destination-based cash flow tax is and or border adjustment tax?
I feel like I've read about it, but give me a reminder.
Yeah, it's just it's a way to tax corporations without the more administratively efficiently, without any of the burden falling on normal returns. It allows for the immediate expensing of all capital investment, so you don't disincentivize firms to invest as much. I think the Republicans proposed it in 2016. Yeah.
I'm not quite clear. I'm not going to say whether I like it or not because I don't know that.
Well, I don't expect it. I'm just saying.
Sure.
Okay.
Generally, the Republican tax policy I agree with, so I'll say based for now.
Do you think there's any savings that should be taxed? Or do you think they should all be deductible?
Savings specifically?
Yeah, any like savings account.
No.
Based. It's not. You're in favor of a flat tax, though, right? You said.
I would prefer that over what we have. Yes.
It's kind of funny how you guys are doing your own thing, and then me and Isaac just keep like muting and talking.
Yeah,
they're not letting this go. This is just there are 3 different people I'm now having different conversations with about Gaza.
Fuck. There was another thing. Oh, so the flat tax. I feel like there are cases you can make for a flat tax, but I think I think like to me, although it may seem fair, quote unquote, more fair to like take 20% of everyone's income, there's obviously diminishing marginal utility to the dollar. So every subsequent dollar you get is less valuable to you because you already have so many dollars left. Obviously, $1 million is not that much to Jeff Bezos, but it is a lot to the average American. Do you think that grants justification for any type of progressive taxation?
Oh.
Why not?
Like, ultimately, my thing is with what I would like the government to be doing, we don't need more than a flat tax, right? Also, ultimately, I'm going to give a random fucking person as an example here. Let's say you make $10 million and you get taxed $1 million. You're still going to recognize that that's $1 million fucking dollars out of your goddamn paycheck, right? It may not matter to your life as much, and I sympathize with that, but that would mean that we could have everybody's taxes a little bit lower. It would also help to, if implemented properly, eliminate loopholes, which is the biggest fucking thing for me. Is
Sure.
that the loopholes allow the goddamn rich motherfuckers to not pay anything. A flat tax, again, if implemented properly, and many of the like Republican proposals for a flat tax rate, seemingly, from what I've read, are implemented or would be implemented properly to the point where it would eliminate many of these loopholes and allow for all of our shit to actually get paid. You don't have to raise taxes. And you also are still like slowly paying down the deficit. Like I don't see the actual negative there.
So how would you implement it to avoid the buy, borrow, die that all the rich people do that currently gets around normal income tax?
I'd have to look at. I did like a fucking stream on this a couple months ago, about the most recent proposal for a flat tax rate. But essentially, what it does is it says you don't get your fucking write-offs. You like multi-million-dollar companies. You don't get your write-offs. You don't get none of that. You don't get your offshore account write-offs. Like you're just paying it. Sucks to suck. I don't care if you're getting double taxed when you're like this big company. Sucks to suck. You're paying it. That's essentially the ideology behind it.
Okay,
I don't know.
So it's just like it's like Harris's minimum tax that she wants in billionaires. She wants to make sure every billionaire pays that minimum 20% of taxes or something. Which seems a little
except for the fact
wacky
that it's
to me.
Like an actual flat. But yes. It's ultimately saying, fuck you. You get none of your loopholes. Also, I believe that this is more like on Congress than on the president or anything else.
Yeah.
But the fact that we still have these well-known loopholes is disgusting. What the fuck do we hire them for? They should be getting rid of these. Flat tax helps to eliminate.
They use them themselves.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. You're right. Yes, I know. But goddamn. The flat tax helps to eliminate a number of these loopholes that already exist for people to not pay taxes or to pay much less in taxes than they should.
Yeah. Usually, my argument is not going to be revenue for it. It's going to be fairness. I don't really care if rich people are contributing enough revenue to the government. What I care about is the government is taxing people fairly, and I think it's again the diminishing marginal utility of the dollar means that it's, I would say, more fair.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think equality and equity are the same thing?
No.
Okay, so why do you think equality is not flat tax rate?
Well, because you're focusing on the dollar rather than the utility. I think we should be focusing on utility. We should tax people equally according to utility, not according to the dollar amount.
Do you think that, let's say perfect world, right? If it were possible to tax people at a rate where everybody made say $100,000, right? So like rich people get taxed down to only actually making $100,000 a year, and maybe poor people get taxed up to making $100,000 a year. Would you like that system?
No, probably not.
Okay, so why?
Because one, you're going to remove a lot of the incentive to work. People aren't going to want to work to be productive, to reduce things over $100,000 if it's just all going to be taxed away. And two, I don't believe income inequality has like major detrimental effects. I don't believe there's any good reason to tax people to all the same level of income. Because I don't really believe there's super large negative effects until you get to like really, really high income inequality. But
yeah, so you're basing your tax policy off of 1%, not like 99%.
What do you mean? Based on what? 1% of?
Well, those like super high fucking amounts, those are 1%, if that. Right? You're basing your entire tax policy off that.
The people we tax a super high amount?
Yeah. You're basing it off of this super high amount that people make and getting taxed on that. You're forgetting about, not forgetting about, but like you're basing your entire tax policy on how much they make.
Well, the entire tax policy. The tax policy includes marginal brackets, so we tax people of higher income at higher marginal rates. It's on the margin. It's not like a.
But that is consistent. You do recognize it. That's consistently basing your tax brackets off of the rich, not off of the poor.
Sure, you're basing your tax brackets off of the income level. Yeah, for rich people. I mean, sure, yeah.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Let me respond to chat. God damn. They're fucking yapping. So my thing is that if, let's say 4%, for example, if 4% was taxed from all of these people, we would be able to pay all of the shit that we want to fund. And we'd still be able to pay down the debt. You're saying it should be marginal, which is what we've had for how many fucking years? That has just increased our debt prior to COVID, right? I'm talking pre-COVID. COVID was its own fucking demon that increased debt exponentially. But like pre-COVID even. You're talking about doing this your laughing is coming through. All right, you bitch, you're distracting me. But no. You're doing this marginal tax rate that is ultimately leading to a higher debt, leading to people having more access to loopholes and all of this fucking bullshit that we all don't like. We all don't like loopholes, for example. But the marginal tax rate is allowing these loopholes to exist.
I don't know if the marginal tax rate intrinsically allows loopholes to exist, but I'm not doing it for revenue. Again, I'm doing it for fairness.
Right, but the fairness is that the loopholes exist for the rich. The poor people are paying their money in that they don't actually owe, and the rich are not paying the money in that they do actually owe. That is like what the fairness that you're describing is. If you do a flat fucking tax, everybody pays the same percentage.
They pay the same percentage of their income, but they're not paying the same percentage of utility.
I'm done. They all pay the same percentage, which is, first of all, actual equality. And second of all, it eliminates many of the loopholes that the rich try to use to get out of paying taxes.
Yeah, they're paying the same percentage of their income, but not the same income as their utility. The argument of fairness I'm making is based all on utility, not on the percentage of their income. Also, I don't see why intrinsically marginal rates would create more loopholes than a flat tax. Any way of implementing a flat tax, I would assume it would be more. It is more administratively difficult to do a progressive tax, but I would you can crack down on avoidance all the same ways.
The more change you implement in the tax rate, the more ability there is for a loophole for somebody to say, oh, well, this wasn't actually my income, yada, yada, yada. you open up many more doors for loopholes. That's the.
How do you prevent that under a flat tax? You just said, well, you would say, well,
because
fuck it, you have to pay 20% no matter what.
You're not opening up doors for them saying, you know, oh, I didn't make $120,000. I made $999 for the
all right, guys.
You let loopholes of a completely different tax bracket.
We've derailed so much.
We know.
I'm probably going to go to sleep soon. It's like
I've been in a whole new tax bracket. It's a Bruno Mars song, isn't it?
I'm probably going to go to sleep soon. Gorps, I got one question before I head out. You mentioned before that one of the things that you want to do is in order to achieve a no income tax for a certain level of income. You believe in defunding the U.S. military greatly. Are you okay with the United States no longer being a superpower with that?
I didn't say greatly. I said partially. We could. I'm forgetting the number off the top of my head, but there is a very good amount that we could defund our military while still being a major superpower. I also, to be honest, don't give that much of a fuck about us being a superpower to the extent that we are today.
Okay.
But I would be okay without us repealing a decent amount of our military funding. I don't think we need it. It's just a jobs program at this point.
So you understand that? Well, yeah, the majority of the money that we spend in the military is like on wages and all that.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah.
I've been in a whole new
tax.
I got my shades right here. I've been ready. You put them. You walked away to put them on. I went to my left, had them ready to go.
On that note, I think I'm going to go to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. I think I've been disturbing my neighbors.
It's 2 a.m. where I am.
Oh yeah, I think we're all. No, not all. Yes.
No, it's only 10:47 for me. Goddamn.
Imagine being.
What? What time zone are you? What 10:47? A.M.
West Coast, baby. West Coast, best coast. Let's go.
West Side.
All right. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna head out. I hope y'all have a good night. It was a lovely conversation. I got some followers. I appreciate it. I'm gonna plug it in. Twitch.tv/thatguysnorth. Give me a follow. Give me a check out. I'll probably be live tomorrow. I'm gonna start out with a cooking stream probably.
What are you cooking? What are you cooking?
Oh God, what are we cooking?
I'm going to be taking some, chicken thighs, and I'm going to make some Alfredo chicken pasta. And at the same time, at what time? That's a good question.
I will watch this. I love cooking streams. Come on.
Okay, 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. EST. Tomorrow.
I'm at work, bitch.
Imagine.
What the fuck?
I'll be making chicken Alfredo, and then I'll also probably be yelling about how much I fucking hate Marx while I do that. So, I can do.
Chat, go watch him, but he's a bitch, and I'll be at work. So,
all right.
Bro.
Hope you all have a good night. Peace.
Yeah, I really appreciate the conversation. Thanks. Yeah, I also have to get going. I gotta edit my shit. Okay.
I got so much more to edit.
I know.
All
5 hours to skim through.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry I don't have an editor like you, Gorps. Okay, Rich has fancy camera, fancy microphone, fancy vape.
Hey, camera was my money. Microphone was my dad's birthday present to me. To be fair.
Okay, that makes sense. I also have the same microphone, but regardless, okay.
I'll just sit here with it. I look the same as you guys, for real.
That's it. I bought this microphone in accident, so I didn't think they would accept my fucking lowball offer. But regardless, Gorps, I really appreciate the conversation. I'm sure we'll talk more. I think you're a lot smarter than most of the people in Twitch politics. I think, okay. I'm complimenting you. I'm trying to be nice, but okay, fuck you. You're wrong about flat tax.
My personality is being a dick. I'm sorry. I have to.
Anyway, I think you're a lot smarter than a lot of people in Twitch politics, especially a lot of fucking Trump supporter people and the crazy far left, wacky left people. So I really appreciate the conversation. I'm sure we'll chat more in the future. I'd love to keep talking about this. I'm sure we'll do a Israel-Palestine debate at some point. Maybe we can set that up. We can give me
Bro, I'm already doing that.
DM me, bro. You know, I know you have my DMs now. God damn.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
that's all my chat is right now.
I need a week to take notes in the book I read, but never. I only highlighted it. I never took notes in it, so I forgot everything. Okay, but I'm sure we'll do that in the future. That'll be fun. Yeah, you seem smart. I guess you and Isaac can chill in this VC if you really want to, but.
Well, I'm
okay, Azal. So. Well, okay. Damn. Okay. Well, I appreciate the conversation. Yeah, again, you're smart. Thanks for stopping by. Sure, we'll do more in the future. See ya.